of Famer, the Everlight Solar Studio. This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Gonna take a little time and the O-line to get him over.
Field stands in, delivers, intercepted. Quay Walker's got it. Looking for blocks. Walker still on his feet.
So he'll be around when the season's
looking
over.
For the end zone. Quay Walker is in. Touchdown.
I wanna know who Love is.
There's Love. Taps it a couple times. Going end zone. Caught. Dobbs. Touchdown, Green Bay.
I want to see Goody's kids play.
Love looking to throw a fade, far side. It is.
Get some positivity.
Touchdown. Romeo Dobbs, number 2.
I want to know what Love is.
Oh, pressure on Fields. He's in trouble and he's taken down. Devontae Wyatt on the backside pressure.
To show me.
Love has Jones in stride. Aaron Jones racing to the end zone and he's in. Touchdown, Green Bay.
And give credit to Goody. I want to know what love is.
It is the Monday edition.
I want you to show me.
The all-time greatest montage, and that's really saying something, combining the dulcet tones of Mark Tauscher with the highlights from the Packers' win yesterday in Chicago edition. Also, the most meaningful win of the Matt LaFleur era, Tausch will explain edition. And do we now know for certain what love is, as the question asks edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you could possibly need on WisconsinOnDemand.com, the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson stitching together Tausch and his soprano with the highlights from yesterday in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios and from his undisclosed location. He's a color analyst. He's a radio host. He's a Packers Hall of Famer, and now professional singer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I am good. And, Jason, thank you so much. I'm happy that you're able to get back. 1:26 this morning is when you got back.
Look, don't start. Hey, thank you for your service going out to Pullman, Washington. Don't start with me. I'm not in the mood for you.
I just got a kick out of the fact. I'm glad you went down to Chicago. It was a late game. You grinded. You worked. But I love the fact that you couldn't just say I got back at 1:30. You wanted to make sure we knew 1:26 a.m. So I do want to say thank you for doing that.
Yeah, whatever.
And it was, could you have drawn it up? If you're Matt LaFleur, if you're Brian Gutekunst, you could not have drawn up, you couldn't have dreamt of a better scenario than where you were at yesterday for their football team to go out and play. You could not have. It could not have been scripted better than what we saw yesterday from all of Goody's guys and the offense and what the team was able to do. It was exactly, I'm sure, what they thought they were going to see in a perfect world is what happened yesterday at Soldiers Field. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, it was. Look, one of the reasons why because I had not
Did you
been.
get a hug? Did you get any hugs from
I
your
did not.
guys
I did not get any hugs. I do think I came close to getting Jordan Love to tear up. He definitely got emotional on one of my questions, and I was pretty excited about
look
that.
at you.
But what happened yesterday was one of the reasons why it was important to me to be there. Like, it wouldn't have been cool to have made the trip. And I have not, as people know, I have limited my travel in the last several years. It would have been in no way cool to go down there and see him struggle and them lose to the Bears and then be surrounded by all the Bears fans banging on the press box and everything else excitedly that the worm had turned for them. But to be able to see we sat in the room where we wait for LaFleur to speak at the podium in Chicago, the room outside of which he hugged me a few years ago in another meaningful win in Matt LaFleur's tenure. And it's adjacent to, and I used this in the lead of my story in the State Journal this morning, it's adjacent to the visitors' locker room. And you celebrated plenty of wins in that locker room during your playing career. Mm-hmm. It was so loud. And that's with cinder block walls in between the players and us. So I can't imagine how loud it would have been actually in the locker room while they were celebrating. They gave Jordan a game ball, and LaFleur came in after all of it died down and they were done celebrating, and he said, there is a big-time belief in Jordan Love in that locker room. And it was a really authoritative, awesome quote that as a reporter, you're like, boom! And then when I mentioned it to Jordan and asked him a question about it, which I hope we'll hear later in the show, it meant a lot to him. And it was really cool to see because as you tease me for saying repeatedly, despite some of my skepticism, I really like him. And it was really cool to see. It was really cool, Tausch, to see him get to have that kind of a moment in his first start. And you're right. If you had, the joke about the NBA being scripted or whatever, like had you scripted this game in the Packers' favor, if you were the writer who was on strike in Hollywood and they asked you to script Jordan Love's first game, it's hard to imagine it being much more perfect. Like, yes, did he miss a wide-open Luke Musgrave, what would have been a 56-yard touchdown? Yes. Did they have 2 3-and-outs after their opening score series? Yes, but that's football. That stuff happens. He was fantastic all day long. It was really cool to see.
He was. And I love that that little anecdote you just said because every NFL player, I don't care who you are, you go through this and your goal, I mean, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to make money. That's obviously, those are obvious things. But you want that respect and that trust in your locker room. And from a quarterback standpoint, I get a little chill just thinking when your head coach says that and you get that game ball handed to you and you have the entire team rooting and hooting and hollering in support of you and knowing all of what you went through, 3 years of sitting behind Aaron and all the questions and all the stuff, and you get that moment, that's what this is all about. And for Jordan to feel that and to go down and do that, it's special. That is a special, the first time you do anything, it's always more meaningful than anything else. But I would bet you that moment, I don't care what Jordan Love ends up doing the rest of his career. He could win 3 Super Bowls. He could win MVPs. He will never forget what happened yesterday down at Soldier Field. That's what's so special about it, and he deserves it because how he performed yesterday was star-spangled awesome. He played a great game. He did what he needed to do. He didn't try to be somebody he's not. And the team acknowledges that. For that to happen, I think that's why every Packer fan is incredibly excited, and that's why every Bears fan is incredibly dejected because this was the start of something. Now again, you got to build, but you can get super excited because you're a fan. You should be.
No doubt.
You could not have dreamt as a Packer fan things were going to look like that yesterday. That was a dominant beatdown of a team that's not very good. That's what that was yesterday.
So I want to get to your meaningful win statement because I think that's really, really interesting, and I want to get to positives and negatives. I do want to point two things out, though, because it was a love fest, and deservedly so, because it was his moment. But I think you have to give credit to Aaron Jones, who I swear has to be one of the most underrated players, underrated great players. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not the under-the-radar guy. Everyone acknowledges he's good, but I don't know if we always appreciate how good he is. Like, that choice route, the 4th and 3 that he takes to the house, and then he grabs his hamstring on his way.
Well, and by the way, don't be afraid to give Matt LaFleur a little love on the all blank and blank, no blank and blank blank, because that is easy to kick the field goal and go up, I think, 16 at the time, and that's what I was thinking you'd do. No, that sets tones for what kind of football team you're going to be. And that was basically saying, hey, we see throats. We're getting throats. That's what that was.
And the other person I wanted to credit is Matt LaFleur. I thought Matt LaFleur had a really good game yesterday. Like, I thought he called, and he can poo-poo us, and he can tell us that he doesn't understand what we're asking, and he can ignore the fact that even the team president makes a statement to that effect. But it's his offense, and his quarterback executed his offense the way it was designed to be executed, and he called a hell of a game. Like, you scheme plays up, and I understand the second one, and he, of course, as I expected him to do with my question, he wasn't going to pat himself on the back, but you scheme Luke Musgrave that open that often? And yes, I know they bobbled a snap on the second one that they completed. The passes that Jordan Love threw to Jayden Reed, I mean, Jayden Reed is a good young player. I really have liked him since the moment he got there, but those were schemed up so he was open. I thought Matt LaFleur had a really, really good day yesterday and did a really, really good job getting his first-time starter or first-year starter the opportunities to succeed. Jordan had to do it, but I thought his coach gave him a big assist. Would you agree?
Yeah. It's what I literally just said. And
when you were interrupting me, and I was trying to set up the question.
I did interrupt you because I wanted to make sure that point shouldn't get lost. There's so many things that happened yesterday. There's a lot of things to delve into, but I thought that was a tone-setting moment for your football team. Matt LaFleur deserves a ton of credit, and that's why I think you always want to have great players. But coaches have egos too. And Matt LaFleur has been, rightly or wrongly, oh, that's Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's in charge. Oh, they're kowtowing to Aaron Rodgers. All this stuff. And a lot of that's true. You know, that's the deal. And you'd always want to take that. But when you get your guys and you get to do your way of doing it, and it works, you just feel a lot better about everything involved. And Matt LaFleur called a good game. I want to clarify this, though. And this is where I have been on the pro Goody stance for a long time. I'm going to stay there. The lines of scrimmage were what won that game yesterday. It wasn't that Jordan Love was so much better than Justin Fields. He was.
Although he was.
But he was because the lines of scrimmage were that was a TKO on TKOs. The Chicago Bears wouldn't even drop back to throw. Even on 3rd and 12, they were trying to get – they just don't trust that they could hold up against Green Bay's D. And I think that's going to be a recurring thing. And the Packers' O-line played great. Jordan Love played great. It all works together. This isn't some – you have Aaron Rodgers and you make these great throws and all these great plays. You need to have this. This is how you win football games. And if this formula sticks, my prediction of the Green Bay Packers going to the playoffs because they beat the Chicago Bears is going to be right. And don't poo-poo, rebuild, all this other stuff. I've said all offseason, the NFC is very wide open. There's a lot. Minnesota can't beat Tampa at home. Mm-hmm. So we can be prisoners of the moment, and very well this could be a prisoner of the moment deal. But what I saw yesterday, that's the stuff. That's a road game. That's the stuff that carries on. And Aaron Jones deserves. There's a lot of the great thing about it. A lot of people deserve a lot of love when you put a performance like that out there yesterday.
Later, we can get into just how god-awful the Bears appear to be, because I do not want to decrease the excitement about what happened yesterday. He owned Justin Fields. Like, he was so much better than Justin Fields, and you're right, their offensive line was better than the Bears' offensive line. But if you wake up this morning after watching that game and you're asking, who would I rather have, the guy who's going into his third year as the starter, who was a first-round pick, or the guy who started only his second career game yesterday, that is a canyon based on watching
TKO.
Those two guys play.
And by the way, not just Packer fans, Bears fans would have to acknowledge that.
Right,
too.
that's what I mean. And so we'll get into more of that. I really do want to get to what you mean by and have you explain your statement about the most meaningful win of the LaFleur era. We will do that after you talk about something that is almost as meaningful, and that's our relationship with Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's the Packers. It was their time to trade in and replace quarterbacks. Now is the time to replace your drafty old windows. Not during the dead of winter. Right now, Pella has a great deal going on. Pay as low as $19 a month per window, $75 a month on patio doors. The installation is completed with no mess, just like yesterday. No mess. There wasn't even any hassles down in Chicago. You left nothing behind but perfect results. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. 6.99% APR financing for 120 months. Certain restrictions do apply. You can see showroom for details. That offer ends not on the 30th. On the 30th. Not on the 31st.
You blew
I almost got it. I did, but I reclaimed myself. 30th of September.
You're like Luke Musgrave falling down short of the end zone when he's that wide open.
Yeah, he didn't look super athletic yesterday, by the way.
Fastest guy on the team.
He looked quick, but man, spatial awareness. We got to get some spatial awareness with our guy, 88.
Maybe that'll make the list of negatives. We'll do positives and negatives coming up, but Tausch will explain what makes this the most meaningful win in the Matt LaFleur era. He'll do that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Pasquale's Cantina, the hottest restaurant in town, where the food is spicy and the drinks are cold. It's time to put on your shades and cruise over to the hippest southwestern joint in town, where the fiesta never ends.
Picture this, the Arizona Ranch Pizzadilla, a crisp flour tortilla with grilled fajita chicken, Jones cherrywood smoked bacon, barbecue sauce, cheddar jack cheese, spiced ranch, and scallions. All served like a pizza. Pasquale's, Middleton, and Verona, bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
Mark Toscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Hallman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Hallman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Hallman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 Best history. Your kids will call it totally lit. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the Incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Former NFL player and Rose Bowl champion Tarek Saleh here for Carbon World Health. Carbon is much more than just another gym. They offer the best recovery in the area. Some of my favorites include red light therapy and cryotherapy. Improve your athletic performance, fitness and training results, speed up muscle recovery and reduce pain, and boost your mood with these simple and non-invasive treatments. Visit Carbon World Health today and ask for the ESPN Recovery Package. That's Carbon World Health.
You know Mountain Dew is like no other soft drink on earth. That's because Mountain Dew is the boldest soft drink the world has ever seen. Today, Mountain Dew, the most iconic flavor in the history of soft drinks, has spawned a new generation of outrageously craveable flavors that share its glory, like Mountain Dew Major Melon, Mountain Dew Code Red, Mountain Dew Spark, Mountain Dew Voltage, and Mountain Dew Livewire. So here's to the neon royalty of Dew and the Dew flavors that have come after it, the boldest flavors on earth.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Holding me back, gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm of your hand. Why don't we leave it at that? Nothing to say when everything gets in the way. Seems you cannot be replaced, and I'm the one who'll stay. Oh, in this world.
Matt LaFleur's first 3 Packers teams all won 13 games. He went to San Francisco when he was pissed at his former friend and rung him up with a hell of a comeback late in the game from the 4-time NFL MVP, and then did the blow-by handshake as a celebration. They won playoff games. They reached NFC championship games. But Tausch posits that yesterday was the most meaningful win of the Matt LaFleur era. And spoiler alert, I agree with him.
Oh.
Sorry, did you want me to not? I think he's a complete idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Is that better?
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up, Jason?
What you're doing.
So explain this position.
Sure. So on Green Bay game day, game night. We're calling it game night now, not Green Bay post game.
Yeah.
I actually like Green Bay game day better than post game. Green Bay game night.
Okay.
Last night, I said this because I saw clips of some of the celebrations and Goody shaking hands and hugging, and I just kind of went inside how my mind works.
That's a dark
and
place.
Watching Matt LaFleur's reactions, and you just think about it this way. You come into the most storied franchise And all everybody wants to talk about is audibles, working with Aaron Rodgers, how you go about doing this. So while you're honored and it's awesome to have the job and you have a great quarterback and you're able to win the most games in the history of the league through 3 years, those are all great things to put on your deal. But there's something about being able to do it, kind of Sinatraing up and doing it your way. Matt LaFleur is getting to do it his way with his guys and with Brian Gutekunst's guys. And that just, I think, all of the uncertainty and all the questioning and all of the discussion, and I think Matt LaFleur also yesterday had belief that his guys were ready, that they were going to be able to play well, but I think even in his heart of hearts, he had some questions going into the game yesterday. And when you have a little bit of doubt, but you believe in what you're doing, and it pays off, it means a heck of a lot more than when you're, we should win this game, They're just, I think for him personally, that is as rewarding of a win as he's had in his tenure as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And I'm guessing it meant more to him than any of the other ones because of all of those factors. I just think it's now him. He is running this, and that changes the entire narrative of how this football team's covered and how this football team is operating. And when you factor all of those things in, that's why I think it's the most meaningful win for him. And I know it is for Brian Gutekunst. But Brian Gutekunst laid his you-know-what on the line. Both these guys did, but Goody really did, because this is Goody's call.
No doubt.
And you saw that, and Jason, you heard it live in person yesterday between the big cinder-blocked walls, the soundproof walls that weren't going to hold the sound up because of the excitement and the joy that locker room brought, because the players do it too. The players know how important it is for that. And you can always look back and say some of these wins, that 2001 win when a bunch of defensive backs were, those games when you're kind of in doubt and you don't know and you start finding out what it is, it's eye-opening, it's exciting, and it is incredibly meaningful. That's what yesterday was about.
I also think it's important, and we'll get to what LaFleur said about Jordan and the belief and the loud locker room, loud noises and everything else. But I think it is important to acknowledge what you said about LaFleur in terms of, he probably had some doubts and some concerns. And then when he says what he did about the belief in that locker room and Jordan, I can tell you from some private conversations during the offseason that there were guys that weren't sure either about the transition. Now, they're all smart enough not to say that kind of stuff publicly because they don't want to do their new starting quarterback like that. But there were definitely reservations. And frankly, if there weren't, then they'd be in some sort of cult. Human. Right.
You're being a robot, yeah.
So I do think yesterday was vitally important and meaningful, not only to Matt because of all the reasons you said, but because this is a totally different deal now, man. And even if Jordan turns out to be MVP number 3 in a row and Hall of Famer and everything else, we don't know that today. He was really good against the Bears team that looks like it's really bad. But he was really good, and that's the most important thing for a room full of guys that weren't sure if he would be really good about anybody yet. And this was the first time he had a chance to prove it, and he did it.
That's why I put as much on this game as I did, a playoff berth versus not, because when you're in a locker room, and I was incredibly fortunate to have a guy at that position that we always believed in and how vital that was. And then when you talk to other players around the league that don't have it, it's critical. And everybody can say the right things. And, well, this is this and he's this. And players will, you still need to go out and show it. And when you do, people buy in, and people follow, and people will say, yeah, we got it. And when your head coach is leading that drum roll, that's pretty special to a player. So now Jordan Love's confidence is going to be growing. But more importantly, the team and that locker room's belief in him, while everybody was saying the right stuff, that is also growing. That's how you end up getting that good mixture of physical, tough, hard-nosed play, understanding that you need to do more and not leaning on a Hall of Fame quarterback, but then having that guy that's doing it and proving it while you're doing that. It's a pretty great combination. If you can pull it off and continue to do it, which, again, now is the hard part. Now you got to keep verifying it, validating, week in and week out, and fighting through it, because it's not going to be all peaches and cream. You're going to have some stubbed toes, and that's part of the NFL deal, but you have that bedrock foundation that you can go off of and say, yeah, we know what we need to do to win. We can figure this out. That's why yesterday was so important.
We want to get to our positive and negatives and yours. The negatives list is going to be very, very, very. By the way,
I got two negatives that I think are. I'm only going to say one, but there are some negatives. It wasn't all. But Jason, can you remember a game last year outside of Minnesota, that Minnesota home game, where they smoked the Vikings, that the team did all three phases as well as they did yesterday?
No. How many times last year was Matt LaFleur talking about complimentary football? When they lost 5 in a row, it was as if only one of the three phases at a time could play decently, and the other two would not. All right, I want to get to positives and negatives. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776 if you want to get in queue. But Tausch and I and Jesse are going to do ours coming up next after Tausch tells us about one of our biggest positives, our fantastic partnership with American Family Insurance.
Oh, Badger fans, exciting times. It's a tough one on Saturday, no question, but we're still excited. Big game coming up this weekend, and American Family Insurance wants to give you and a friend a VIP experience at a Badger football or basketball game during the 2023 season. You and a friend will receive pregame, sideline, or courtside passes, tour of the facility, and tons of great merch to support your Badgers. Enter today at amfam.com/Badgers. No purchase necessary. Dream fearlessly. Insure carefully.
Positives and negatives next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
This team is loaded with a lot of potential. They just need to put it together, and I think that'll come with experience.
Before and after every game, your game day party lives with ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Saturday on 100.5 ESPN.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Ben Brust from Scalzo and Brust to tell you about one of my favorite teams in the area, Zimbrick European. For over 3 years, I've trusted them with my car buying process, and I'm never going anywhere else. From Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, their pre-owned and Sprinter vans, they have something for everyone. Don't drive something ordinary when you can drive something extraordinary. I love the sexiest car on the lot that I found this time, a nice Zimbrick Mercedes. Find what you love. Test drive, and they will make leasing affordable. Zimbrick European.
Feeling rough lately? Like you're barking up the wrong tree? Well, let us throw you a bone. The 2023 Putts for Pubs Pre-Party is Thursday, September 21st at the Boneyard Dog Park and Beer Garden from 4 to 7 p.m. Bring your pup and enjoy your first drink for free. This event kicks off a weekend of fundraising for the Dane County Humane Society. Let's raise the woof to raise some money for DCHS. Join us on Thursday, September 21st at the Boneyard from 4 to 7 p.m.
This summer, Coors Light wants you to retire, even if it's only temporary. Take a break from your 9 to 5 for 9 holes of golf. Trade those spreadsheets for a bingo card. Or swap your office chair for a water aerobics floaty.
Cool noodles up, everyone!
This summer, welcome to temporary retirement. Coors Light, made to chill. Copyright 2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
The best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Hi, this is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. We're the trusted local experts you can count on for your home exterior projects. There's a reason so many customers recommend us after we help with their projects. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
I'm Captain Ann Maxon with the Wisconsin State Patrol. Safety on our highways is a team effort. Every day, our troopers and inspectors focus on keeping people and commerce moving safely. Drivers can do their part to prevent crashes and needless tragedies by remembering 2 simple things. Buckle up, phones down. Thanks for helping us move towards 0 deaths on Wisconsin roads.
A safety message, sponsored by the U.S. and Wisconsin DOTs.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
The dog days are over. The dog days are done. The horses are coming, so you better run. Run fast for your mother, run fast for your
844-770-3776. That is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. We'll get to your positives and your negatives coming up. But Tausch, you did acknowledge you had some negatives. But let's start with the positives. By the way, positives for Mike McCarthy, 40-0 on the road over the Giants last night. Hello!
Cowboys, Packers, NFC Championship.
Can't wait.
Sounded pretty good.
We'll have less sleep and we'll be grumpy.
That's
Thank you again, Jason, for getting
Shut up. Shut up and give your positives, you jerk.
So much appreciated. There are so many positive things to take from yesterday's game, but the biggest one for me, outside of Jordan Love and the poise and the big plays that he made on third down, Matt LaFleur's coaching, all of those things are positives that I'll let you guys take the low-hanging fruit on. The difference in that game yesterday was won and lost by the big boys up front on both sides. And I knew the O-line for Green Bay was going to be markedly better than Chicago's. To the degree, I didn't know to the same extent, but yes, they protected him. They opened up holes for Aaron Jones. It was really good stuff. But the defensive line, again, this is 1 week, and I get a little prisoner of the moment-y because that's how this cycle goes. No, I do. I firmly admit that, but it's different. Devontae Wyatt instead of Dean Lowry. That's different.
Yeah,
there's more
really good.
Getting in the backfield. And somebody, Lucas Van Ness, who I said was going to make an impact this year, that play he made was critical early in the game. You don't know. Games swing, and momentum swings early. Chicago's plowing down. They're going in, and if they hand the ball off, I actually thought they handed it off as a tutter to Herbert. They didn't hand it off.
Right.
He pulls it. Van Ness, he's a 280-plus pound dude. And Justin Fields should have got the corner on him, but he didn't.
Nope.
He flattened out and brought him down.
Threw him into the stands.
Style.
Yeah.
Like he was wrestling a calf. That's what it looked like to me. Got him down, no problem. It just was that way all day. Rashawn Gary's in there putting pressure on. So, again, bad O-line, I understand all that. But this defensive line was a difference maker yesterday. And that's the new strategy. There isn't the big block, two-gapping, run-stuffing. Now, our team's going to run the football against Green Bay? I would assume they're going to. That's what I would do. Because you got more athleticism, but you got big bodies that can move, long bodies that can move. And that D-line yesterday got off to a great start, corralling. I know Justin Fields was able to get out of the pocket a few times, but, man, not like he did last year. And the pressure and the physicality that group played with now that really good athleticism, that's what my biggest positive was from yesterday's game.
I have been critical of Devontae Wyatt. I think it was worth pointing out at the time that when we had that really hot practice, he was the only guy who dropped out of practice. I wondered about his conditioning. I wondered if he was going to make a year 2 jump like they needed him to. I know he flashed late in the year, but he deserves a hell of a lot of credit because he was a game wrecker for them yesterday on a day when they only played their real defensive game wrecker, Rashawn Gary, 12 snaps. And he still managed to make a play, by the way, right? Hitting Justin Fields' arm on the one throw that turned out to be an incomplete pass. But he, for a very limited sample size, he was really good yesterday. But Devontae Wyatt, I was a doubter. And, again, he has to build on this. And it can't just be he's not going to play like this every week. He's got to have consistency. He's got to make plays, but for a guy that I had some serious doubts about, he was damn good yesterday. Jesse, what was your biggest positive?
For me, it was all of the players starting in their first game that made an impact. So Jaden Reed, Anders Carlson coming up with the clutch kick right before halftime from 50+.
Some said that was key to the game.
I think that was super significant. Yeah, special teams, the difference in the game, no doubt.
Who said that? You?
Lucas. Old T said that during our Green and Gold game preview on Friday. And then Lucas Van Ness, the play that Tausch referred to, I think was a huge moment in the game as well because it preserved the lead for the Packers. So I think those three in particular, there were other players too that had, of course, huge impacts in that game. But if you look at the first-time starters making significant momentum-moving plays throughout the course of that game yesterday, second, third quarter, that felt like it made an immediate impact, and long-term this season and beyond feels like it could be a great start for all those guys.
All right, there were a lot of guys that I think deserve a ton of credit. You mentioned a bunch of them between the two of you, and I do want to – this is not my biggest positive, but I do want to mention I think there's a chance that Jaden Reed could be really good too. I mean, he had the 35-yard punt return, which was important. He catches the ball very easily and naturally.
He looks the part, man.
He does, doesn't he? That's exactly the phrase
quick
that
out of his
I needed
breaks.
there. Yep.
He's quick out of his breaks. He's good.
Yeah.
He's going to be good.
But the guy that I think kind of flew under the radar, if it's possible to do that when you score 2 tutters, was Romeo Doubs. I saw so many people referring to the fact that they were without their number one receiver, Christian Watson. Mm-hmm. They were without their deep threat game breaker, take the top off the defense, co-number one receiver maybe? But I don't think we should sleep on what Romeo Doubs does. And again, a guy who played limited snaps. They had him off the field a lot. It was almost as if you could predict that they were running the football when he would be out because they put Dontavion Wicks and Malik Heath out there to save him from snaps where he had a block. But he caught 2 impressive touchdown passes. The second one was a hell of a catch.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not I am not MVSing Christian Watson. Okay? He is a much more well-rounded receiver than MVS, as I criticized him for being a one-trick pony. But I just thought it was important to emphasize that Romeo Doubs ain't no joke. And again, he played limited snaps because of his hamstring. But if he doesn't play, if his hamstring is serious enough, I don't think they win 38-20. They may still win, and we still might be talking about how well Jordan Love played. But Romeo Doubs helped his quarterback yesterday by playing as well as he did in a limited sample size. And I just wanted to make sure that in our talk about Christian Watson's absence and Aaron Jones tilting the field and Jordan Love and the defense and everything else, easy to forget that a guy who was questionable to play had 2 big-time touchdown catches and was pretty impressive as well. All right, those are our positives.
I think that's a fair qualifier because he did get kind of lost in the shuffle because he didn't have the same amount of reps and, Reed kind of emerging and a couple of the throws to Musgrave and Jordan Love and the O-line and Aaron Jones. And that's part of being a pro is what Romeo Doubs did. He didn't feel 100%. And it's easy to say, I probably should make sure he wants to be out there just like Christian Watson does. You have to be smart. But you also, when you can go out and contribute and give them something, you do it. And, man, that is a part of the game that I think got lost. Unless you're a fantasy football player with Doubs on your team, that part probably did get lost in the shuffle a little bit yesterday.
All right. We will get to your positives and negatives, but we did not do our negatives, and Tausch has some. So we want to make sure we get to those. I got 1 or 2 as well. We'll get to those coming up next. Tausch, one negative that I never hear from you is about Tito's.
Never, ever do you hear bad things about Tito's because it's the best vodka on the market, and you can take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batched cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. You must be 21 to enter. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Our negatives and your positives and negatives all still ahead. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll always find great deals. Right now, get even greater savings store-wide with our lowest prices of the year. Like over half off 50-foot Yellow Jacket extension cords, $32.99. 20-pound bags of Blaine's brand Finch bird seed, only $18.99. 20% off Carhartt denim pants for the whole family. Centric brake pads, rotors, shoes, and drums, also 20% off. And buy any 3 Cooper tires, get the 4th one free. Shop Blaine's Farm and Fleet's lowest prices of the year in-store or online and pick up your order in our drive-thru in just 1 hour.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. The Wisconsin Badgers football team now 1-1 on the season after a loss at Washington State on Saturday night. This now marks the 2nd straight year that the Badgers have lost to the Cougars in the home-and-home series. Here's head coach Luke Fickell after his first loss at the University of Wisconsin.
I got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, that's a good football team that came to play tonight. And, I told our guys in the locker room afterwards that they outplayed us. I don't know what more you can say about it. I thought we came out the second half. We found out a little bit more about ourselves. We obviously did not play very well in the first half.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Hey, It's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Show your Brewers pride everywhere you go with Brewers Checking, only from Associated Bank. Score exclusive perks like a one-of-a-kind Brewers Debit MasterCard, 10% off at the team store, even express check-in at the Associated Bank gate. And if you want a VIP game day, the Associated Bank Power Alley is for everyone. Contact the Brewers ticket office to learn how you could treat your crew to a full buffet and private bar overlooking left center field. Brewers Checking. Learn more at associatedbank.com/brewers today. Member FDIC.
You'll notice that some jewelry stores in the area are giving big, deep down discounts, as much as 60%. But you know what they're doing, don't you? They're just marking it up to mark it down. That's why for over 30 years, Chalmers Jewelers has offered you truth in pricing. You will always find great value on unique custom jewelry at Chalmers Jewelers. Truth in pricing is what it's always been.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 7th. Position players, pitchers, and catchers can showcase their skills for over 40 college coaches scheduled to attend. Registration is open to all players in the 2024 to 27 graduating years, and spots are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Sign up today at grbacademy.com. That's grbacademy.com. Rays Baseball, raise your game.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Dash the Dane. That's right, Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company has expanded their delivery offerings with DoorDash. New customers get $5 off your first order of $25 or more. And don't forget, Dash Pass subscribers always receive free delivery. Order delivery today at GreatDanePub.com or on the DoorDash app and get food delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at titostailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit titostailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Jesse is curating lots and lots and lots of texts from you. And we will get to those at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Again, you can also call 844-770-3776. That's why we call it the talk and text line. Your positives and your negatives. But first, Tausch, what were your negatives?
Yeah, I thought, again, the O-line played pretty well yesterday. David Bakhtiari being out there, Zach Tom has proven himself so far to be pretty doggone good. But just watching some plays, and again, I understand there's going to every player's going to have a bad play here and there. Josh Myers, he's given up more stuff than I think you'd want to see. He got beat a couple times across his face, and there's just you really want to see him elevate his game. And the Packers do not want to move Zach Tom. They want to keep him out at tackle. That's what they want to do. But I think after watching that film, I'm guessing they're not going to be overly pleased with Josh Myers' game and how he played yesterday. So, again, just a few plays, and you can wash that down and say, well, it's positive. I think he needs to up his game still. I think that would be the negative that I saw that kind of jumped out at me. I saw probably 3 or 4 plays that it was, that would be my negative for yesterday. I have a couple others, but since my eyes always kind of go into that offensive line area, that was what jumped at me.
Yes, I heard you breaking down offensive line play and some of the ups and downs in the Badgers' loss out at Washington State. I'll tell you what, if you want to be able to listen to Tausch on the call with LePay, the Varsity app is really it was fun to listen to. I queued it up again with the TV, and I was a little disappointed you didn't get to my piece of trivia while I was listening. I did walk the dogs, so I don't know if you got to that, but at some point, Ron Stone Jr., whose father played the NFL, he was a game wrecker for them.
He had he caused us some problems, and going into it, they knew that was going to be their DNs were pretty good, and they made an impact in that game. Unfortunately,
but Ron Stone Jr.'s sister is Ronica Stone, who is Jordan Love's longtime girlfriend, and I still, at some point, not today because we've got a lot to get to, but at some point I want to discuss the fact that Ron Stone Sr. has like 5 kids, and they all have names with Ron in them.
That's interesting. That's fair.
It's an interesting way to go naming rights-wise. All right, Jesse, what was your biggest negative?
That the Brewers took a no-hitter into the 11th inning and lost the game in Yankee Stadium yesterday afternoon. That was crazy.
There was a buzz about that in the press box, too.
If it wasn't the start of the Jordan Love era, we'd be talking all about that all day. A.J. Dillon is just kind of blah as a running. Like, he'll get you 3 yards. But, like, there was a screen pass. One of my most disappointing plays yesterday was the screen pass to A.J. Dillon, where he had, like, 3 or 4 offensive linemen in front of him and what looked like all green field on the telecast. And you're thinking, okay, big play. And he got, like, 4 yards out of it, and the first Bears defender tackled him. It's like, what? How does that happen? Like, I just want more of A.J. Dillon, and if Aaron Jones is going to be banged up at all, and he's going to be the featured back, like, we got to see more from him, because right now it's just he's lovable because he loves Wisconsin and he loves Door County, but he's not a super productive running back.
Yeah, he took some hits, too. He's usually the one dishing them out, and he got walloped a couple of times.
Yeah, why does it feel – why it's so hard to understand? And Mike McCarthy was the same way. You know, LaFleur, obviously. Aaron Jones needs to be your bell cow. Like, this doesn't need to be a 50-50. The fact that Aaron Jones ran – this could be my other negative now that you bring this up. Where did Aaron Jones go? He has that great drive. They go down and get a tutter. And then A.J. Dillon's in there the next 2 series. It's like, what are you guys doing? I thought he was hurt. I was like, well, he must be hurt. We have had this same conversation now. Maybe Aaron
Since
Jones –
2018.
He needs breaks, and I understand you want to keep guys healthy and all. I get all that. But Aaron Jones is a difference maker. He's a stud. He needs to be if you're going to do a rideshare program, he needs to be driving that bus 85% of the time.
A rideshare.
You don't go to Les Miserables and say, Bette Midler's playing in it. But you know what? Give Bette 2 shows off and bring in Lucy. Well, eventually your audience can be like, what the hell are you doing, man? I came here to see Bette. I didn't come here to see Lucy.
The understudy.
That's what yesterday felt like.
Sure.
Yeah, there's
Rochelle,
there's no more of this.
You don't have a more modern reference than that?
I can only think of it because of Seinfeld. There is a difference. It's not as close of a call as I think maybe the Packers want it to be. And A.J. Dillon has a role on this team, but Aaron Jones' role needs to be more outsized than what it is. We need to wear him out. We need him to do what he did yesterday all day, because the difference he made was wide open for everybody that wants to look at it.
Yeah, I would say that they have reservations about riding him too much because they do want to keep him from – I know he's really good at avoiding –
That's why they're trying to get Jonathan Taylor 23.
And he's 28 in the NFL, right? He was 23 in Madison, but he is 28, right, for the Colts? I don't know. I haven't seen him in a uniform for a long time.
He's JT 28.
I think they have reservations, even though he's good at not taking direct hits. I do think that whether you're Mike McCarthy or Matt LaFleur, you're trying to find ways to, if you're going to run between the tackles, limit how often he has to do that. So I do think that's part of it. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, get over it.
Again, but is he able to make the plays if you're grinding him down? And I'm not talking like Amon Green 400 touches grinding him down. But if you're giving him 355 carries and he's catching 50 balls like Amon Green did for you in 2003, is he as effective as he is if he's carrying that much of a greater workload? I don't have I know there's lots of people that have a problem with how he's used. I do not.
No, use him more. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that have a problem, and I'm guessing if he hadn't pulled his hammy yesterday, now that's the trick, right? And I get that. I am at the point, he's at the point in his career, let's go to work. No. Yeah, shake your head all you want. Work.
I was doing your Brian, whatever his name
Windhorst.
Is. Windhorst, yeah.
That's windy.
All right, I need to get to my negative before the top of the 10 o'clock hour, and my negative is Jordan Love, just like Aaron Rodgers as a young buck. Slide, man. You're really important to this team. Let's be careful out there. I understand I'm a helicopter parent and I'm a helicopter beat writer. I get it. But his coach, his agent, he talked to his agent before the game, and he said, he told his agent, I'm going to run somebody over. And his agent said, no, please don't do that. Slide. And then he went out there and did it anyway.
Yeah. And I went 12.5 on the rushing yards, and he got to 12. So OT not good with his PP.
Tough break for you. Yeah. And look, the 1 9-yard run on 3rd and 12 is what sets up 4th and 3, which they choose to go for.
Throat getting.
And if he slides and it's 4th and 6, Matt LaFleur probably doesn't go for it. So I get it, but. Again, just as we've seen from
Scared
his predecessor,
money don't make money. Scared money don't make money.
Yeah, but for all the folks that want to see some who liked Sean Clifford in the preseason, let's not get so cocky that we could say, yeah, go ahead, risk your life and limbs. We'll be fine with Sean Clifford at quarterback. He's got to pick his spots.
Of all the quarterbacks that you're worried about getting hit and getting hurt, Justin Fields would be at the top of the list of the Sean Clifford, Jordan Love, Justin Fields thing.
No doubt about it.
Agree, get down when it's smart. Don't take unnecessary hits, but don't you dare take that dog and going to getting 8-9 yards when he needed it. I don't want him thinking about that at that point. Get down when you can. Go be that dog when you can too.
All right, we'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour with your positives and negatives. 844-770-3776. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Have you been thinking of updating your bath or shower? Well, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
This is Barry Alvarez.
Hey Madison, Pat Richter here. For great coverage of your Wisconsin Badgers, stay tuned to 100.5 ESPN.
WTLX Monona, ESPN Madison.
On Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. Happy Victory Monday. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Green Bay Packers win game number 1 of the Jordan Love era, dominating the rival Chicago Bears 38-20 at Soldier Field yesterday, and it really wasn't even that close. Jordan Love, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns, passing 2 to Romeo Doubs. After the game, head coach Matt LaFleur proud of his starting quarterback.
I couldn't be more proud of just his performance, his poise. There's a big-time belief in that locker room for Jordan Love. And I think the guys, they're going to rally around him. They're excited for him. They love him. They respect him. He comes to work every day. Great attitude, great energy. And I think you saw that today.
Plenty of reactions continuing all day on 100.5 ESPN, including the all-new afternoons on ESPN Madison. Kyle, Bruston, Nortman, show debut from 2 to 4 this afternoon, followed by Rutledge and Hamilton 4 to 6.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
It's gonna take a little time and the O-line to get him over.
Field stands in, delivers, intercepted. Quay Walker's
Better
got it.
read the Bears
Looking for
line.
blocks. Walker still on his feet.
So he'll be around when the season's
Looking
over.
for the end zone. Quay Walker is in. Touchdown.
I wanna know who Love is.
Here's Love. Taps it a couple times. Going end zone. Caught. Dobbs. Touchdown. Green Bay.
I wanna see Goody's kids play.
Love looking to throw a fade far side. It is.
Get some
caught.
positivity.
Touchdown. Romeo Dobbs, number 2.
I wanna know what Love is.
Oh, pressure on Fields. He's in trouble. He's taken down. Devontae Wyatt on the backside pressure.
To show me.
Love has Jones in stride. Aaron Jones racing to the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown, Green Bay.
And give credit to Goody.
All right, I just would like to state for the record, I am really bad about finding a song I really like and then playing it over and over and over again. It really irritates Paula and the girls. We're starting to get to that point on this.
What?
It just loses its specialness when we play it over and over and over again.
You know how much you just poo-pooed? Someone heard that for the very first time 10 seconds ago, and they're all goosebumped out, and you're like, yeah, I've heard this.
I saw there was a critique on Twitter, too, about that it wasn't performed live. I didn't even think to criticize you for that.
It was performed live. It just was taped and then played later. I performed it myself, I can assure you.
It was not
There's
AI.
no AI singing that out, yeah. Matter of fact, I gave Jimmy Polzine the green light Saturday night out in Pullman. He's like, you going to let me, are you cool if I throw that video? Because he said he's going to video it, the recording of it. And I said, well, I don't know, because I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. That's how good I felt about it. So I think he's going to run that. You'll see that live production.
Wait a minute. When you recorded that was during the Jim Polzine, columnist of the Wisconsin State Journal, follows Tausch around all day and tells his story. You recorded that in front of him?
Well, I recorded it with Jesse, and Jim was still in the studio, and he recorded it, yeah.
Wow. Behind the scenes. State Journal readers, get ready. All right. That was a positive. There was no doubt that was one of the biggest positives of Friday. Not a whole heck of a lot of positives on Saturday, the way things went out in Pullman. And then lots and lots and lots and lots of positives yesterday if you're a Packers fan. Not so many if you're a Bears fan. I saw Geriot asked if we had checked on Waddle and Sylvie and our Chicago friends, and quite
Maybe
frankly,
tomorrow.
I haven't. Yeah,
Maybe tomorrow we can check in with
we'll let them work through their
get an idea.
Kublering of the way their first game of the season went. All right.
It's got to suck to be a Bears fan, man. Like your hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
Dashed.
What? 844-770-3776. Isn't there a scene in Rounders where your hopes and dreams over?
Yeah, that's what I was trying.
Right? Was that what you were doing? Okay, I just wanted to. All right, wanted to make sure we're on the same page. That's an underrated movie. 844-770-3776. Your positives, your negatives. Let's do some calls, and then Jesse can wade through his thousands of text messages on the talk and text line. 844-770-3776. Packers beat the Bears 38-20 in Chicago in Jordan Love's first start as QB1. He even messes that up. He's called it his first start like 4 times, before and after, and then he always has to correct himself.
The COVID game doesn't count.
Well, yesterday definitely counted, and he was fantastic. Let's start with John in DeForest, home of the Norskis. John, good morning. Let's get your positives and negatives. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, but of course now I feel like I'm sitting in the breakfast buffet line and 4 people ahead of me all went for the bacon because you guys sort of took my negatives away from me. But
that's okay, and bacon is good. We love bacon around here.
Very good. Never want to have to sit there and wait in line for more bacon to come, but then it's fresh, which is nice. And for Tausch, just to the Bears, we beat them. Give the man his money. Anyway,
well done. Nice.
But
that was good.
Couple of negatives. And once again, Josh Myers, just especially during that period of time where every single pitch running play seemed to just be blown up because he couldn't get his butt out to get the man he was supposed to get. That was probably a negative. Now, Dontavian Nix was put in there probably before he was ready. He seemed to have the moment seemed to be a little bit too big for him at times.
Yeah, he barely got to practice in camp. I'm going to defend him a little bit there. He was put in a bad spot, no doubt.
Agreed. I don't think if all things being equal, I don't think he's out there that first day as much as he was.
Agreed.
But,
he would have played,
And with A.J. Dillon, we have got to be able to run the ball when we absolutely have to. And he's the guy that you would think would be the one that gives us that. But he just, whatever reason, I don't know if he's a downhill runner and we need to maybe position him farther back to get him more of a head steam, but he just doesn't seem to be able to. It's like you said, he's getting hit harder now than he used to be able to inflict the punishment. It's being given to him, and I don't know if it's just not getting enough speed or what. But a couple of other negatives that turned into huge positives. For me, the great part about Jordan Love was not just the fact that he was able to make the throws. The moment was not too big for him, and 2 moments that could have been the what the heck are you doing that turned into wonderful things. That period where they didn't seem to know what play they were running in the first half, and that one incredibly agonizing sequence where they pulled everyone off of the line to re-huddle while the clock is going down to retell everyone what to do, and then getting out there with less than 8 seconds to pull off the snap. That's a point where a rookie quarterback, someone where the moment's too big for them, they don't handle it well. That guy was as cool as a cucumber, called him in. You could see him calming the other people down, saying, it's okay, let's do this, and get it done, and got the snap off in time. Any other situation, that's a delay of game where they don't even try to get to the line. So kudos to him for that. And the other play was, of course, the drop snap that turned into the pass to Musgrave. He took much more talented and experienced quarterbacks could not handle it as well as he did. First of all, he got lucky because the ball bounced right back to him, but still to be able to bring it in, turn around, scan the field, and find Musgrave. And was it a great pass? No, because it was a broken play, but he still handled it. And then on top of that, his adrenaline had to have been going through the roof. But he calms, brings them down, and then proceeds to put in that great pass to Romeo Doubs at the end. The man was just locked in the entire game, and that to me is the most impressive thing, and the thing that worried me the most is not so much his ability. He's going to make passes, he's going to drop them. It was whether or not the moment was going to be too big for him, and it was not in the least.
No question. Thanks for the call. That the poise and what we saw from Jordan, that was hugely positive yesterday. And we all knew, at least we've seen that. Again, it's always different when the lights come on. It's a bigger stage, et cetera, et cetera. The other negative that we have not broached was the clock management at the end of the half. I don't think they knew what the hell they were doing.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur took the blame for that. He screwed it up.
Yeah, that was McCarthy-esque, if I may.
Or Wilde-esque.
Matt LaFleur, I really like Matt LaFleur's clock management typically. He's super aggressive, calling timeouts to get the ball back, which sometimes you don't. That's, I thought, was one of the things that needs to be better, but we're, this is picking at it a little bit.
Nitpicking.
All in all, yeah, very, very, very nitpicking. Exactly.
All right, 844-770-3776. Let's go to Dennis in Plover. Dennis, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how are you guys? Tausch, you were slaying me with your singing. I was almost rolling on the floor. It was so great.
If only he had a Grammy-winning producer working on some of those notes, doing a little auto-tuning.
Yeah.
Might need to call him. We have to keep up in the ante. It's going to get tougher as the season goes, just as we know.
Well, if you ever need any editing done, I got all the software and the knowledge. But anyway, as usual,
and lots of time off.
We'll take it.
Yeah. So, as usual, my takes are really simplistic, but Jordan Love, his poise was just unbelievable, and he didn't come under a lot of pressure, but when he did, he seemed to just handle it just perfectly. Mm-hmm. And then my negative you guys just talked about. It seems like always you get down a 2-minute drill and you look up at the TV and the Packers have one timeout and the other team has 3. It's been happening for years. But anyway, you guys have a good day, and remember 9/11. Never forget.
Indeed.
Amen.
When I watch Jordan Love all summer, I'll be honest, at no point was poise a concern for me. Like, he's just so level-headed, and that has been on display from the moment. Like, obviously in his rookie camp, he was not. He was overwhelmed, not level-headed. But the last 2 years, like, even though he didn't play well in Kansas City and Goody blamed the game plan and Matt LaFleur blames the game plan, but Matt LaFleur always blames the game plan when they lose, he still never looked like shook in that game. He didn't play well, but he never looked like, oh, my God, I'm in complete panic mode. And certainly throughout the summer, even on a day like when the Patriots came in the second day of the joint practices and ate their lunch, he never looks like he just can't handle it, like he's freaking out. And look, you look around the league yesterday, there were a lot of young quarterbacks playing, and you watch some of the highlights, and there were some guys that looked freaked out. And that never happens with him. So the poise is definitely a factor with him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to one more call, and then we'll get to some more after the break. 844-770-3776. Let's go down to Illinois and talk to Otto in Palatine. Otto, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing, bud?
Good. Hey, I thought something very telling, a negative that probably turned into a positive. But what was very telling is when they got down, and I can't remember if it was the second or third quarter, but they got down to the 2-yard line on second down, and they gave it to A.J. Dillon. He didn't get in. So they went on third down, and they brought in Aaron Jones to run that in for a touchdown. And I thought that was very telling, that they didn't want A.J. to run that ball they didn't think he could run it into the end zone.
Yeah, he did not have a great day. There's no he and Josh Myers both had days that you would say were not their best moments.
And I wonder now if we got to get to see Emmanuel a little bit more out there because he looks like a downhill runner much more than AJ. I know that it's an undrafted free agent and it's early, but you got to test these guys and see what they got.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting yesterday, and thanks for the call, Otto. And we talked about this, about the practice squads being expanded, that they had a third running back up yesterday. It was Patrick Taylor, who they had on the practice squad, and they didn't keep on the 53 because they were worried about losing Emmanuel Wilson. And so Emmanuel Wilson, even though he made the active roster, was inactive, and Patrick Taylor, who was called up from the practice squad, played. In part because he is also one of their better special teams guys. So I'm not ready to give up on A.J. Dillon, but for a guy who admitted that last year he was pressing and he struggled, you would have liked to have seen him get out of the gate better than he did. I think he would admit that as well.
I think he would be the first to admit that too, and we're not at the point yet where we're going to start looking at other options, but when you have games like that, that opens that window up and people start wondering, and especially with what's going to happen if Aaron Jones misses some time, and they're going to obviously go on the high side of caution, as your boy Mike would say.
40-0.
A.J. Dillon will get reps, but that also is going to open up an opportunity for some of these other young backs. And all of a sudden, if they showcase what they can do, different things can happen. And so that's one thing to watch as we kind of see where Aaron Jones's hammy is at this week.
844-770-3776. We'll get to more of your positives and negatives from the Packers' 38-20 victory over the Chicago Bears. Bear down indeed. They are down in Chicago. I listened to a little bit of the ESPN 1000 postgame show on the drive back. They are, in the words of Tausch, struggling as a fan base. Yeah. You will not be struggling with your banking if you make the switch to Associated Bank. They are the official bank of the Packers. They've been there since the Packers began in 1919, and they're there for you with the best customer service in the industry. So check them out at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. There you'll find the Packers Debit MasterCard, your Packers Pro Shop discount, both in-store and online, and, of course, all the other perks that come with it as well. AssociatedBank.com/Packers. More of your positives and negatives from the Packers' win over the Bears. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Spectrum TV customers, you have lost access to Disney's unrivaled portfolio of live sports on ESPN, like college football and Monday Night Football, live sports and news coverage, plus kids, family, and entertainment programming, all gone. Take action now and tell Charter you want your networks back. Go to keepmynetworks.com to learn more.
Dash the Dane. That's right, Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company has expanded their delivery offerings with DoorDash. New customers get $5 off your first order of $25 or more. And don't forget, Dash Pass subscribers always receive free delivery. Order delivery today at GreatDanePub.com or on the DoorDash app and get food delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
Members of the Prairie Athletic Club need to play the new Prairie Pines Golf Club in Sun Prairie today. Prairie Pines' new ownership and management team were put in place by the Prairie Athletic Club this summer. Enjoy a renovated pro shop and 50 new golf carts. Golfers of all skill levels are welcome. Come see the difference at the new Prairie Pines Golf Club. Visit prairieathletic.com for tee times and membership info. That's prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club. Family fun community.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, 'cause Truck Star Collision is on my speed dial.
Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truckstar Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truckstar is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truckstar Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I've been dreaming about the West Coast. Found some places that I don't know. I see your signs for California. Trade the shade for something warmer. I've been dreaming about the West Coast.
I couldn't be more proud of just his performance, his poise. There's a big time belief in that locker room for Jordan Love, and I think the guys, they're going to rally around him. They're excited for him. They love him. They respect him. He comes to work every day. Great attitude, great energy, and I think you saw that today.
That is Matt LaFleur after yesterday's win in Chicago over the Bears. Let's get to one more call, and then we'll get to your texts on your positives and negatives, because I want you to hear what Jordan Love had to say about that quote. I want to text him and ask him if he got emotional or not, because I don't know him well enough to know if he did or not, but I sure think he did. So I'm kind of curious, because I love that sort of thing. So I think I might text him in the break. I know they're in meetings and whatever. I don't know when he'll see it, but I loved his answer, and we'll hear it coming up after we hear from you. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Keep those texts coming so Jesse can be inundated with those. Let's go to our old friend Mark in a truck for our last call for now. Mark, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Hello, my old friend. How are you?
Yeah, it's great to hear your voice. Are you in a truck right now? Are you in a truck right now, or are you at home now?
Well, there, I honked my horn.
It did not sound like your truck.
No, I got maybe 5 months, and then I'm pulling the plug.
Oh. Well, retirement will give you a lot more time to listen to us in the comfort of your own home.
So, and then, Lou Graham called Tausch, and he's putting a cease and desist on you from singing.
Fair enough.
All right, the positive I have was I did not see, maybe I wasn't looking hard enough, but I did not see one check down. It looks like he ran every play that was called, not like Karen Rodgers does. It was just a positive game, and the only negative I have about anything is, when is Karmazin going to get the mouse traps out of his wallet and have a sheep's head tournament?
Come on, Karmazin. Let's go.
Wow. All right, so just to recap Mark's call, and it's always great to hear from you, Mark. You are one of the all-time loyalists. You'd be up for the Hall of Fame if we ever get around to doing that. But
thank you. And then
you dropped a Karen Rodgers, and then you called out the founder of the company.
Why not? He can't find me.
Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
All right, so I don't know when the Sheep's Head tournament might be. I don't know what is going to happen tonight when Aaron Rodgers makes his Jets debut on Monday Night Football. I do know this. Tausch, we talked about it. LaFleur hates talking about it, but to Mark's point, I mean, there were can plays, which are built into each play, that if you don't like the look, then you tap the sides of your helmet, and everyone knows that you're switching to the alternate play that is baked in to that cake of the play to run that. But I'm fairly certain he did not go rogue and change plays altogether the way his predecessor did. Now, I do think that there is some negativity toward that we neglect to notice how often those were good things that Rodgers did, right? So it's easy to look at it now and say, oh, well, he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. But there were, I think Matt LaFleur would tell you, lots of instances where that really helped them. But now, with an inexperienced guy, this is what you want.
Yeah, it's kind of a tired narrative. I can understand why Matt LaFleur wants to nip that and just say we're done with these discussions because it's old news. Every coach wants to have a great quarterback that understands what a defense is trying to do and to put yourself in a position to have the best play called versus that defense. This is different. Matt LaFleur is now getting to do what he wants, what he thinks is best, and he has a quarterback that the two of them are in sync on. That's a great thing. So there's always 100 different ways to run an offense, to check, to audible. But what you always want to do is make sure you give your team the best chance by being in the best play versus that defense and having guys just go out and play. And you saw yesterday there wasn't a lot of checking and a lot of audibling. It was, here's what we're doing. Let's go out and execute it at a high level. And when they do that, pretty rewarding, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Pretty meaningful, don't you think?
Yes, you can. If you missed that earlier, you can go back, or maybe Tausch will just reiterate it a little bit later in the program. The most meaningful win of the Matt LaFleur era per Mark Tauscher. And I don't disagree with him. I agree with him. 844-770-3776. We'll get to some of your text messages on the talk and text line coming up next. Tausch, tell us a little bit about Fleet Farm and what they've got going on right about now.
Well, get ready for your game day kickoff party with help from Fleet Farm. Pick up snacks, drinks, coolers, chairs, and much more. Well, those drinks, snacks, and coolers, they were pretty doggone good yesterday. You can find all your favorites. To make this the best season yet at Fleet Farm. And the seasons, yeah, they are a-changing. It went from 85, 90 degrees to a nice chilly, overcast. Bleh. Make sure your car is in top shape with help from Fleet Farm. Save on auto fluids, batteries, wiper blades, and even tires. Get everything you need to help keep your car running smooth at Fleet Farm. Finding everything you need for your everyday life. Fleet Farm, serving the Midwest since 1955.
Your text.
That's the last time the Lions won the division, right? It's 55.
Last time they won the title was 57. Your texts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie, Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
The standards have been set from quarterbacks that have been here before us, and you're trying to continue to raise your game until you get to that bar.
This is your Green and Gold Fix on 100.5 ESPN.
You're going to evolve throughout the course of the season. It's always the fine line of what's too much.
This Green and Gold Fix is driven by Metro Ford.
Things could not have gone better for the Packers to kick off their season as the Jordan Love era gets underway with a 38-20 win over the Chicago Bears. Jordan Love throws 3 touchdown passes, and Quay Walker has a pick 6 as the exclamation mark. Afterwards, Jordan Love definitely feeling supported.
Just being in the locker room with the guys, they're awesome, man. I was actually given a game ball today, and those guys were going crazy in there. So it's an awesome feeling for me. But, I mean, we got a great team. I love those guys. It feels great to have everybody behind you for sure.
To win the first season opening win for the Pack since an away game in 2020 against the Vikings.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll always find great deals. Right now, get even greater savings store-wide with our lowest prices of the year. Like innovative, quality-driven Goodyear tires, all on sale. Right now, buy any 3 Goodyear tires, get the 4th one free with installation. Plus, get up to $100 in consumer rebates when you buy select sets of 4 Goodyear tires. Shop long-lasting quality and tread life at unbeatable value with Blaine's Farm and Fleet's lowest prices of the year.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
When you want to show just how you feel, come to Chalmers Jewelers. Our custom jewelers have been working day and night to come up with the most amazing custom jewelry. Truthfully, in the 30 years I've been in business, we have the largest inventory of custom jewelry that we have ever had. Amazing prices, amazing selection, and one-of-a-kind pieces. Come see our incredible variety at either location or chalmersjewelers.com.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Braylon Allen here. When I'm running, tackling, and scoring touchdowns, I'll give you one guess what I'm wearing underneath my jersey and pads. That's right. Iron Jock Performance Gear is with me for every yard, every sprint, and every lift in the weight room. This is by far the best athletic apparel I've ever worn. Join me with Iron Jock Nation and get yours at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
We're on the Packers.
Jordan Love is going to be fine.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
I don't have any kind of lack of faith that Jordan Love is not going to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
to decide that the things that I tried were in my life just to get high on. When I sit alone, come get a
Packers beat the Bears 38-20. It was
Wasn't
seven,
that close.
It was 7-6.
Yeah.
And when they botched the timing
It
of
was
the
0-0.
drill,
It was 0-0.
yes, it
Jim.
was. Yes, it was. But
What a dumb play call to do two quarterback sneaks. Like what?
well, one of them was a quarterback sneak with a tight end, which was really weird. They direct snapped that to Cole Kmet, the third down one, right? Yeah, Luke Getsy, he doesn't get a game ball. He got booed. The Bears got booed, and deservedly so. All right, Jesse, we won't boo you. What do you got from a text perspective on the talk and text line?
Never say never. Jeff, the FedEx guy, leads us off on the text portion of the talk and text line. Throughout the game yesterday, all I kept thinking was, thank God my franchise drafted and developed a quarterback to play quarterback instead of a running back to play quarterback. From Jeff, the FedEx guy.
I think that's. I don't necessarily agree with Jeff. I think Justin Fields showcased that he could throw the football at Ohio State when he had good receivers and a good O-line. where the Bears keep getting it wrong. I don't know what Justin Fields. He is not right now a pocket passing quarterback. He is a freak of an athlete. Great. You could probably put him in the Michael Vick category of getting outside the pocket. He scares people to death when he's out of the pocket. So I don't mind. I want my quarterback now to be a great athlete, but the game of football still comes down to it's 3rd and 6. Can you make a play? Can you stand in the pocket and deliver the football accurately to make plays? Jordan Love could yesterday. Justin Fields was not even given that. He wasn't given that opportunity because their O-line and the Bears have not gotten it right in a while. Their O-line, they do not. Luke Getsy is sitting there. If I do 17 drop-back passes, he's going to get hit 15 times.
Right.
So we can't do that. That's what they're saying, and it was proof in the pudding. Just watch the game. They didn't do it when they were down by 30 or 25 or whatever it was. So it's, I think, a little unfair to Justin Fields, but that's an organizational failure.
No doubt.
To put pieces around him that will allow him to become that guy. So then what they do is they work with what they have, which is a great athletic quarterback running the ball, and trying to utilize that. They know if they drop him back to pass 40 times, he's not going to make it through the season because they don't have the parts to do that. Green Bay does.
What else you got on the text line, Jesse?
Nate in Sun Prairie, positive, defense, the general aggressiveness and athleticism. Negative, still too many dumb penalties. Nate's not the first on the text line of the 100-something texts that we've gotten today to point out the dumb penalties on the negative side of things from yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I understand you don't want to get the late hits, and the one that Justin Fields, that was not a late hit. That was a fine hit. I don't know if they were going to call that. I don't know. I am never going to sit here on this show or any show to discuss and say, if somebody takes a shot at one of my guys, the last thing I want to see is 10 other guys walking back to the huddle. I want a pack of wolves coming over and say, get away from my guy. We saw that yesterday. There was a wolf packing crew. This team, they're building something that you could say they care about what's going on. Yeah. And they're protecting their guys. That is when you see it the other way, all is lost. You're done. So this was always going to be a chippier game. You heard Brisker, you heard Jones, you heard some of the Bears talking. They were fed up, and they were going to play with an edge. And Green Bay said, you guys play with an edge, we're going to be better, and we'll play with just that same edge, and we're not going to be as dumb because the Bears, for as many dumb penalties as Green Bay had, the Bears had more. And you don't want to get into that, and I agree with our texters. You don't want to get in a blanket contest in those cases. But what you do want is defend your guys, not take any blank from anybody. And when you do that, you feel good about your program and what you're building. So I am not as upset.
Blank and right.
I want our team to have that edge, and you have to play up to that line. You have to figure it out. Yesterday they probably went a little further, but the last thing I want to do is not to even approach that line. I need you up to that line. And if you're going to get a little seepage over that line into penalties to start the season, especially when you're ahead 38-10, I'm okay with it.
Give me some more blank and text, you blankety blanker.
The Jackrabbit Mama.
Now, before you read her text, we never confirmed, or did we? This is not Tucker Kraft's mom.
It's not Tucker Kraft's mom, as far as I know. I mean, maybe. I guess I don't know if we actually confirmed that. I don't think she is.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure.
South Dakota State.
I hope it is.
So do I.
We did confirm she is the mother of someone either currently or formerly at South Dakota State, though. We did confirm that.
You guys know I love South. Another big win for Coach Eck and the Idaho Vandals. First win versus an FBS team.
Yeah, it was a great
job,
win.
Coach Eck. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
From the Jackrabbit Mama, something I have wondered. If Jordan Love continues to perform well, does this generate discussion as to the benefits of a rookie sitting for a few years after being drafted versus pushing young quarterbacks into the starting lineup and risking destroying a career before it even begins?
Ooh,
Man,
mama.
what a great question from
Outstanding.
Jackrabbit Mama. I'm not going to put extra work on Jackrabbit Mama, but I would love for her to pose a question a week for us because that is a great question. We'll get the Tourism Board of South Dakota to sponsor it, partner up with us. It's a win-win. I think that's such a fascinating question because most teams aren't afforded the luxury of doing what Green Bay has done.
Correct.
Where you can sit. The big thing in today's NFL is having a rookie court on a rookie deal and solidifying the rest of the roster. Green Bay hadn't even done that. Green Bay is sitting there with a bunch of dead cap space. So for all of us that were the rebuild and everything else, that still is in play. That's still the plan here is you're young, you're going to grow. I know today everybody is thinking world champions, and hey, I ain't gonna blank in your Cheerios. You blank and enjoy this win. But you do want, it's always better for players to play football. Quarterbacks, if you look at what's happened, if I'm talking about in other positions,
Okay. All right.
quarterback is a different animal. Your confidence will be shredded if you struggle, and you see the benefits of what Aaron Rodgers was able to do, what Jordan Love, again, in a very small sample size,
Patrick Mahomes did it for a year.
Mahomes. There is a value in letting a quarterback get his feet on the ground and learn and understand all of the things. Because Jordan had said this, and with what Aaron has done, how intentional Aaron has been about how he approached things. Jordan took that. How much stuff goes into being a starting quarterback in the NFL. Those are all things on top of learning how to read defenses and understand what blitzes are doing and all of those other things. So if you're in an ideal situation, I don't think you want to wait 3 years like Jordan had to, but to wait a year, I think you're going to see franchises struggle because everybody that drafted a rookie quarterback started him yesterday. First rounder. Stroud, Richardson, Bryce Young. All three of those started. Should they be starting? The answer is no. But they're forced into it, and the organizations go through the battle of, well, let them learn on the job. We're paying them less. We can build the roster, and by year 2, 3, and 4, when they're still on that rookie deal, strike while the iron's hot. That's what the strategy is by most teams. Green Bay did not do that, and through 1 week, Green Bay looks like geniuses.
Jesse, let's do one more text message.
This one comes from Ben in the – oh, no, I didn't do Ben in the Commonwealth. Sorry, Ben. Let's go to Pat in Elkhart Lake. I replaced it because the Pat's first text ever to Wilde and Tausch. I forgot.
Pat in the Commonwealth of Elkhart Lake.
Road America. His positive drafting athletic freaks on defense works? Negative. LaFleur's obvious tendencies when A.J. Dillon enters the game. Might as well yell out, run. Everyone we're running. We are running the ball.
Maybe you should have gone with Ben in the
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth.
It's a typo on Pat.
Totally
but we won't
butchered Pat's.
It's his first text. We won't get after. Everyone, we're running the ball. Needs to be as creative.
Pat?
Or yes.
Clean up the text and be able to read.
Help him out. We cleaned up for you all the time.
What are you doing here? You're trying to make Pat what's going on?
All right. Do you want to talk about the freaks on defense, or that when A.J. Dillon's in, it's a 3-yard run every time?
No, I want to talk about you butchering Pat's text.
Yeah,
That's
me
what I
too.
want to talk
Yeah, very much so.
Sorry,
yes.
Pat. Thanks for texting in, and thanks for including
Now,
your
I
name.
think we've discussed A.J. Dillon a bunch today, and I think obviously not his best performance yesterday, especially when you contrast that with what Aaron Jones did. But this drafting athletic freaks on defense, it showed up big yesterday. You're getting in a more RPO, read option, multifaceted quarterback world. You're seeing more of that. But even athleticism and speed, the big thing is, how do we hunt quarterbacks? That's what we need to be. And when Rashawn Gary got hurt last year, it wasn't very good hunting quarterbacks. Now you start adding more long, athletic freaks to your interior part of your D-line and to, linebacking. Quay Walker, we all love his talent. He's now doing Zen. He's doing stuff with Jair Alexander before games and getting his mind right. You want to see as many freakazoid athletes as you can out on the defensive side of the ball. And I want guys that can run, and there's no mistake about it. Brian Gutekunst said it, and that's both on the receiving core and on defense. That relative athletic scoring and the athletic numbers that he's looking for, if you don't fit that mold, you're probably not going to be a Green Bay Packer under Brian Gutekunst.
You know who had a really good day yesterday that is a really good athlete but wasn't doing very good at his job? Darnell Savage, I thought, had a really good day yesterday. He had 10 tackles. I thought he tackled very effectively, which was what got him benched last year, was not doing so. I thought he had a good day yesterday, and he obviously has taken a lot of shrapnel for his performances last season. We'll see if that continues because, again, that was a seemingly inept Bears offense, but I thought it was an important day for him as well. All right, we'll continue to monitor your text messages, 844-770.
Nobody talking bad on Joe Barry today either, I noticed. Not a lot of Joe Barry hate out there.
Yeah, it's a long season. We'll see. 844-770-3776 is the text portion of the Talk and Text line. I want to remind you of our great partnership with our friends at Gruber Law Offices, and I can say that David is a friend, and he's been great to me whenever I've had a legal question. I have never had to avail myself of his firm when it comes to helping seriously injured people that are injured in accidents. I've been very fortunate, but it's great to know that they're there for us if we ever need them. And we also know that they have the strength and power to look out for their clients, even though they are still family-owned and operated right here in Milwaukee, and they are a law firm that has been through all the challenges in the past, over 35 years of fighting for your rights and standing up for victims. So check them out online, gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com, or just give them a call. One call, that's all. You've heard it a bunch. That one call is to 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. We'll get to some audio from the postgame yesterday from both Matt LaFleur and from Jordan Love, a couple of interesting things that they both had to say. We'll talk about that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers and big opportunity at Stoughton Trailers. Positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. To apply today, go to stojobs.com. The Wisconsin Badgers football team now 1-1 on the season after a loss at Washington State on Saturday night. This now marks the second straight year that the Badgers have lost to the Cougars in the home-and-home series. Here's head coach Luke Fickell after his first loss at the University of Wisconsin.
I got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, that's a good football team that came to play tonight. And I told our guys in the locker room afterwards that they outplayed us. I don't know what more you can say about it. I thought we came out the second half. We found out a little bit more about ourselves. We obviously did not play very well in the first half.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. Help us celebrate 90 years in business by visiting us at 220 State Street. We've been a part of a lot of great moments, and we want to add to those special occasions. Our staff is here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. Come see firsthand why Goodman's Jewelers has withstood the test of time and why we're truly a destination worth reaching. Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store of Madison, and a whole lot more. Goodman'sJewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
What does it take to make a diamond? Extreme heat and pressure and about 1 billion years. But you can't wait that long. What do? You go to Goodman's Jewelers. I'm John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. There's a reason we are the Diamond Store of Madison. Since 1933, we provided outstanding service and selection to our customers, and that in turn has helped to establish countless great memories through the years. Goodman'sJewelers.com, located at 220 State Street, truly a destination worth reaching.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is in full swing from Breeze Stevens Field. The Flamingos' next home game is Thursday, September 14th at 7 p.m., and the team will be wearing Forward Madison's Classic 2020 drip kit for the first time ever at Breeze Stevens Field. Get in with individual tickets or with their Throwback Thursday ticket package. Receive one match ticket and a replica drip kit for just $39. To purchase tickets, head to ForwardMadisonFC.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
So if you listen to this show every day, first of all, thank you for your loyalty, because I value loyalty above all else. Secondly, you hear us tease each other all the time about thank you for your service, right? Because if you even come anywhere close to patting yourself on the back for anything you do, we're going to crush you on this show. Oh, you got back at 1:26 a.m. Well, thank you for your service. Right? You don't have to worry about that with Matt LaFleur. We don't need to crush him because he cannot bring himself in any way. And I think there are ways, Tausch, that you can acknowledge that you had a good day and then say, hey, we got to do it again next week. But, we really like some of the matchups or whatever. But I asked him back-to-back questions yesterday because I thought he had a hell of a day.
He did.
He helped his first-year starter at quarterback immensely. I didn't think that there were a ton of really difficult, tiny window throws that Jordan Love had to throw yesterday. That's not a knock on how good he was. I'm just saying that the coach did a good job of getting him some good throws to make. Mm-hmm. And I tried to get Matt LaFleur to at least acknowledge that occurred. It didn't work. Here is our exchange after the game yesterday at Soldier Field.
Matt, what was your thinking putting together the game plan? Did you have a pretty good idea on Tuesday? You wouldn't have Christian, and if you were going to have Romeo, it was going to be limited because you've got Malik Heath and Wicks out there. I mean, what was your thought process as you put your game plan together?
Well, you're trying to attack coverage and attack whatever looks that you think may be presented to you, but also we knew that The idea, at least going in, was try to lean on the run a little bit and try to get some big explosive plays in the pass game off the run actions. And I think, you know, it was hard to get into a rhythm, especially in that first half. Like I said, just too many get back on track situations. And then we had a lot of, you know, the run pass cans where if they give us one look, we're going to try one play. And you got to give them a lot of credit because they disguised pretty well. I thought the safeties did a really good job of showing one thing and bailing and vice versa, holding the shell and coming down on the snap of the ball where, you know, but that's football. And, you know, you got to give them credit.
When things don't go the way you want them to, you always come in here and you say it starts with me. Do you and your offensive staff at least take a little bit of pride in the fact that you managed to scheme 2 plays where Luke Musgrave, there's no one even within the TV picture of him. He had those throws that Jordan had to Jaden. I mean, those are really well-designed plays. Do you get to at least feel good about how you set up your quarterback to be in a good position today?
Yeah, the second one to Musgrave certainly isn't how you draw it up. I've never seen that happen before where we fumbled a snap and was trying to do it off our keeper action. Got to give Ben Sermons a ton of credit there. He's the one that suggested the play. You know, after he said, hey, when we get a first down right here, what about, we call that play a leak. He's like, what about the leak? And I was like, oh, yeah, Ben, I love it. So give him a lot of credit on that one to put that in my brain. And, you know, it's not always how you draw it up, but thankfully I was giving Musgrave some crap in there. I was like, man, I've never seen a guy so wide open, not score, or catch the ball and score right there. But, you know, you got a cramp on the play. So thankfully Jordan and Rome came through on the next play. Rome made a hell of a catch on that play, on the fade. That was big time.
Matt LaFleur loves it when his guy's urine is hot, and then he loves the leak play, is what I took away from that. And he's not taking any credit for what a good game he had, but he definitely did, Tausch. And when you're starting a first-year starter, he had to be on point yesterday, and he was. And I give him a ton of credit for helping Jordan have the kind of day that he did.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur deserves, you know, he takes a lot of grief when things don't go well, and that's the job of being a head coach. So I love the fact he Trumans up, takes blame when it's afforded to him, and does not take credit when there's credit to be due. And yesterday is a day that he has every right to take a ton of credit, because not only the way the offense was schemed and played, but the team had its edge. It had its urine hot. Whatever they did, the urine was steaming yesterday, and you saw that in all 3 phases. That is messaging. That is preparedness. He brought his own preparedness. The team brought its own preparedness. And when you can do all that as coaches, you feel like you've done good. And that's all. You crack open a Coors Light. You enjoy the plane ride. You enjoy – and you better enjoy those, because very likely there'll be a game that everybody is crushing him on a Monday like this. He didn't get anybody open. What the hell is he doing? Because had that game went the other way, you could say, well, why is Aaron Jones not? There's all of these other criticisms that coaches take. And Matt LaFleur doesn't deserve a ton today because they executed the plan that he put in place at a high level.
He was pretty blank and good. All right, we'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour hearing from Jordan Love as the Packers go down to Chicago, 9-0 now under Matt LaFleur against the Bears. 38-20, they beat the Bears at Soldier Field yesterday. We'll hear from Jordan Love next to kick off the 11 o'clock hour. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll always find great deals. Right now, get even greater savings store-wide with our lowest prices of the year. Like 5 quarts of Citgo Full Synthetic Motor Oil, $19.99 after sale and $7 mail-in rebate. Rewards members save an extra $2. 20-pound bags of KT Nut and Fruit Blend Bird Food, just $26.99. $2 off gallon-size Fast Orange Hand Cleaner with pumice. And assorted multi-pet dog and cat toys, buy one, get one free.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Join hosts Colin Russo, Brad Nortman, Chris Orr, and Adam Mertz 2 hours before and immediately after every Wisconsin football game this season on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand. The Green Bay Packers victorious in Game 1 of the Jordan Love era at QB1, taking down the rival Chicago Bears 38-20 yesterday afternoon at Soldier Field. Jordan Love, 245 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. Pretty impressive performance, and head coach Matt LaFleur proud of his quarterback after the game.
I couldn't be more proud of just his performance, his poise. There's a big time belief in that locker room for Jordan Love, and I think the guys, they're going to rally around him. They're excited for him. They love him. They respect him. He comes to work every day. Great attitude, great energy, and I think you saw that today.
Reactions continuing next on Wilde and Tausch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
It's gonna take a little time and the O-line to get him over.
Field stands in, delivers, intercepted. Quay Walker's got it. Looking for blocks. Walker still on his feet.
So he'll be around when the season's
looking
over.
For the end zone. Quay Walker is in. Touchdown.
I want to know who Love is.
Here's Love. Taps it a couple times. Going end zone. Caught. Dobbs. Touchdown Green Bay.
I want to see Goody's kids play.
Love looking to throw a fade far side. It is.
Get some positivity.
Touchdown. Romeo Dobbs, number 2.
I want to know what Love is.
Oh, pressure on Fields. He's in trouble and he's taken down. Devontae Wyatt on the backside pressure.
To show me.
Love has Jones in stride. Aaron Jones reaching to the end zone and he's in. Touchdown Green Bay.
And give credit to Goody.
I wanna know what love is.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch.
You're done with that song.
Well, so here's what it is spawned. Tweet from Northland WI on Twitter. Now we need to play Now That We've Found Love. Instead, it's got a better beat. Heavy D and the boys. So I don't want to tell the Academy what they need to do for Friday's headlines, but now that we found love, what are we gonna do with him? That's got some potential. I know you don't want to be dictated to. You want to choose your own love songs.
I do.
But
and
credit
we
where
had
it's due, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we had a little conference call yesterday with the
Zoom?
Academy.
You doing some Zooms to plan these out?
No, just a call. And I've also been requested by my daughter. She wants in. I don't think it's going to be this week, but at some point she wants in. She loved it. She wants to duet with me, and of course I'm going to do that. So we have a song. We just got to figure out the right week that we're going to do it.
I guess the follow-up question, because you know I love a good follow-up question. Max not quite as impressed that he doesn't want to be part of it, or just Eleanor more enthusiastic?
Eleanor's a lot more enthusiastic. Oh, Max was gone too. I didn't get to see him as much yesterday. Eleanor had a softball game that we went to and stuff like that, so I had more car time with her. So that was playing. I was listening to Green Bay Game Day yesterday on my drive back from the softball game before the game, and Strophe and the boys played that, and Eleanor was even more excited once she heard that. So she is fired up to be a part of it.
What are your expectations for us in all this? So, like, do you want us to get out of your way and, like, reduce our emphasis on headlines? Or
Packers win.
Like, do you want us to raise our game and, like, show you up? Like, what do you want?
What do you think I want? I want you guys to raise your game. What are you talking? Get worse? Your headline last week couldn't have been worse. So let's get better. Yeah, you mailed it in. You didn't even try. Now, in fairness, you helped me with mine, so I give you credit for helping. But no, I want you to raise your game. You're more musical than I am.
We're going to have a whole production by the end of this on stage with me on piano and Wilde on the drums. And
Les Miserables.
Multiple acts. Intermission.
I don't think so. I think what will probably happen is after a couple weeks, it'll probably fizzle out, and we'll just go back to doing headlines. But maybe not. We'll see how it goes. That's
Your
my
brothers
guess.
do have real jobs in addition to their
They do.
That Thursday
work.
night game is going to sneak up on you with a quick turnaround pretty quick. Yep.
We might put one in the can just in case that happens. Yeah.
All right, let's. There were a couple things that Jordan Love said yesterday that I wanted to get to. Jesse, I know you've cut these up. Do you want to do the one where I thought I might have gotten him a little bit emotional, or do you want to do the one where he talks about all the risks he took not sliding when he was running with the football?
Let's do the one with the locker room behind him. That seems like the fun one.
That was pretty cool. All right, here's Jordan Love.
Jordan, when we were sitting here, we could hear how loud it was in there. And then Matt came in and he said, there's a big belief in that locker room for Jordan Love. A, can you feel that? And B, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, you definitely can feel it. Just being in the locker room with the guys, they're awesome, man. I was actually given a game ball today, and those guys were going crazy in there. So it's an awesome feeling for me. But, I mean, we got a great team. I love those guys. It feels great to have everybody behind you for sure.
Tausch.
Yeah, he choked up a little bit.
I think I got him, right?
Choked up a little bit. You did, yeah. That's what Oprah likes doing, is choking people up. It's incredibly meaningful for Jordan to get the group as a whole to believe in him.
Yeah.
And we heard people say it, but for Jordan, it was important for him to do what he did yesterday. Teammates, of course, it was too, but that was, man, I thought that was really, just really moving, because every player that's played, they want that. You get that game ball and your entire team cheering for you. That lets you know that, man, my work and my efforts are appreciated. And God dang it, there's nothing better than being a part of a team, and a team that you have earned the respect of. And it doesn't matter if it's a quarterback, a 10th-year guy. When you get that, you're going to get emotional because it means a lot to you. And if it doesn't mean a lot to you, you're probably not going to last that long. This is a hard job. It's a rewarding job. It's a well-paid job. It's fun, but it's also hard. And only Jordan and his teammates know the work that he puts in. And you want to get the payout. Not every player does. And when you earn that payout, you choke up when someone brings it to your attention and you get a game ball and you get a big win against your rival. That's what's cool about that clip.
Follow up. What's your game ball history? A little tougher to do at right tackle, but you sound a little bit like you're speaking from experience there.
No, it's just, I mean, I think for me there's a couple of moments, but that's why I always ask, or, you know, when we would have former players on or current guys, it's that, when did you know you belong in the NFL moment? Because everybody has one. Not every one of those comes with a game ball handed to you. I earned game balls. I don't know how many we have, but those are fun and those are important. It's great. Usually we did them Friday. We do them Friday, before we get into the special teams game, all that stuff. They'd hand out game balls on Fridays. I think in the team meeting room before you find out who the captains were for that week. And
took them a while to paint them and stuff. That's why it was Friday.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that must be what it was. But when you get that game ball, you get called up in front of your team and you get cheered for. That's pretty dang cool. But what's even cooler is when you know you belong in the NFL. And for me, it was when I, threw old Vonnie Holliday down on the ground and everybody was cheering. That's when I knew, I'm going to be all right in this league. Every player has a story like that, and it's something that we all remember even as we get older. There's moments that and for Jordan, yesterday is going to be one of those moments.
So I got him a little emotional, and then I got after him a little bit and made him laugh because running and not sliding, not a great idea, but he made up his mind he was going to do it yesterday, and he did it. Here's that exchange.
Oh, hang on. I don't have that one. Go. Hang on.
Good
stuff. Hang on. I don't know if I'm read this text.
The Jordan Love story had a great first chapter, Tim, in Oregon. Or Oregon. I'm not sure if he's in the Madison suburb or in my favorite adopted state. The Jordan Love story had a great first chapter. This is a 1 in a million beginning. Dusting the Bears. He only needs one more victory this year, the Bears game in Green Bay. All right, now, Tim, you were doing great. But then that last sentence, I got to ding you for it. Because this ain't the 80s. It ain't, as long as you beat the Bears twice a year, it's okay. No, he ratcheted up. Tausch, you said going into this game, you said it, that this was going to dictate whether or not you picked them to make the playoffs or not, or something to that effect. So I assume you're picking them to now make the playoffs.
Yeah. No, I was leaning that way because I predicted I thought we'd win yesterday. I thought it was going to be tighter than what it was. But, yes, I really felt like this game is a tone setter for the season. That's how important I thought this game was yesterday.
But if he only wins one more game and it's the other Bears game, then people are going to be
no, then it's going to be you can beat crappy teams. Yeah, no, that's I think most of us feel fairly confident that's not going to be the case.
Correct.
But, no, if you only win 2 games and it's against the Bears, that's not going to be good enough.
So if that's not the goal, which it shouldn't be, then what is, like, I know Atlanta beat Carolina at home yesterday, but to your point about the NFC, if you're only going to beat bad teams, there's a lot of bad teams on your schedule. There's a chance you could win a lot of games with that formula and then maybe beat some teams that are as good as you or maybe a little bit better than you, and you're in a pretty good spot. I looked around the NFC yesterday, and as you mentioned at the beginning of the show, the Buccaneers going into Minnesota and winning on opening weekend.
Yeah, Minnesota, we knew Minnesota was going to struggle this year. Most of us did.
The Giants getting waxed 40-0 at home by the fighting McCarthys.
That I think is more of an aberration, but
I would agree.
Yeah.
But that's supposed to be one of the better teams in the NFC. I don't think anybody had that being a 40-point game. And I know they blocked the field goal.
No, I don't think anybody had a 40-point game. But, yeah, things happen. Games get away from you, and that's happened to Green Bay in the past. So I don't take that into too much of an account. But the bottom line is we knew that Green Bay was going to be really young. Nobody really knows, and still, Jordan Love had a really nice performance yesterday. But there's still questions that this team has to answer about can they do it consistently. That's going to be the next step because I'll never forget Mike McCarthy when he came in, first meeting, talking about we're going to have a ton of success here, and the biggest adversity we're going to have is handling success.
Yeah.
We're not the only people talking about, we're not the only people throwing bouquets at this group.
Right.
Everybody is. Are you going to take, as Nick Saban said, are you going to take this rat poison and are you going to eat it? Or are you going to say, no, we got lots to prove? Because this is one of those games coming up that you're going on the road, everybody's telling you how great you are. Now, this is a sign when you have a young team, can you be mature enough to handle this and go about your business in the right way? That will be the big storyline and the test for me coming up this week, but I'm still in celebration mode off of what we saw yesterday.
I really don't like that rat poison quote. I'd rather say, are you going to eat all these tasty desserts and get fat and happy and then struggle next week because your pants don't fit because you ate so much of the sweet desserts? Praise is not necessarily rat poison. That seems a little strong to me.
The point is, if you, well, then why don't you like it?
Because rat poison that's really strong. Like it poison. It kills them.
Talk to the rat. The rat sees the rat poison wrapped around cheese. Hear me out. The rat sees all that, and it's like, well, you know what? I can go and work to go dig out whatever they're eating. I got to go grind and walk 5 miles to get it. Or there's this trap with this beautiful piece of cheese that's right there. I'm going to take the bait. I'm going to go get that. You know what? Then your head gets snapped, or you end up eating rat poison.
Well, wait a minute now. Is it poison or is it a
mouse trap confused with a rat?
I'm getting both. There's rat poison, little meat right over here. I'll go nibble on that.
Poison meat.
No. So the point on this is, Jason, you better make sure don't get out in front of yourself. Don't start taking the bait. Okay?
Sure. Yes. Or your head will get snapped and you'll be poisoned.
In what order?
Yeah.
All right. I do want you to hear from the quarterback himself his answer to my question about running with the football and not sliding, because we talked about it a little bit earlier. Here is Jordan Love explaining his mentality of not sliding.
You never want to be too safe.
Did you ever consider sliding on any of those runs and would you get after you a little bit for not?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a competitor. I told my agent before the game that I was going to try and run somebody over. He told me not to do that. Told me to slide. So, but you never know. A couple of those runs were third down runs, and you're just trying to get that first down, trying to find a way. But sliding's always an option. But when it's close like that, I'm a competitor. I'm gonna try and go get it.
Yeah, he did, and he did, and it was a really important 9-yard gain to set up the fourth down play, no doubt. But dude, all right, you gotta pick your spots. And Tausch, you remember this?
You sounded
scolding.
You sounded so lame right there.
Did
you ever think about sliding?
He laughed.
Did you ever think about
thought it was good?
No, it was actually really funny, but you sounded like Debbie Downer, not understanding.
Yeah.
And so I think Jordan has the right mentality, and when you get to third down, you know how you can lose game balls and lose respect in a locker room? Is by ducking out of bounds 3 yards short of a first down when you need it. It's true.
Yeah, but you played with Rodgers as he was coming up, and he did the same things, right? And they got after him for it, too. Like, he did a lot of forward diving, head first dives, and that's actually, I believe, how he hurt his shoulder before that game that you guys played against Atlanta, where he had to go down to the Hudson Center to prove he could throw the morning of the game so he could be allowed to play. There is a fine line, and it was awesome, and I'm glad he didn't get hurt. But even his agent told him not to do that, and his agent obviously has a financial stake in telling him not to do that. I was just looking out for Jordan. But
I'm just telling you, if it's 3rd and 6, money on the table, and you slide 3 yards short of a first down, when you can dive and take a hit. So it's about picking your spots and being smart. And I think as long as Jordan is being smart about it, there ain't going to be any complaints. But I want my guy competitive and going for it when you need to, and he did that yesterday.
All right, Tausch is going to raise a cold, frosty Blue Mountain bottle of Coors Light to Jordan in a moment. But before that, we need to play trivia. Jesse, I assume that you are doing the sports weekend recap because that's what you do every Monday. Are you that predictable?
Gosh darn right I am. Sports Weekend Recap. Watched SVP last night. I learned something from SVP that I hadn't known if I hadn't watched SportsCenter. And thankfully, hey, everybody can watch SportsCenter with SVP again because ESPN and Spectrum are back. Celebrate, everybody. It's over. We're good. It's back on. Woohoo!
What are the details on that? What's the carriage fees? I want all the details.
I just got word, breaking news to the Everlight Solar Studio moments ago, so I don't know the details yet. We'll work on finalizing that, but people are texting in saying, thank goodness I can watch ESPN again. All right.
I'm on board with that. Whoever's saying that, thank goodness. That's, although it's cut back my TV watching, which is, I guess, a good thing, right?
Goodbye, good morning football. Hello, get up. Let's play trivia. It is the Sports Weekend Recap. We'll take caller 10. Jordan Love's jersey number, caller 10.
Should we do 2 today? Should we try for
no.
that?
No, we're not even right for that. Why
no
do you do
need
this
for that.
Yeah, but it's fun. We had such a good time with it.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Oh, okay, just take a slide. Hey, why don't we slide 5 yards short on 4th down and just move on with our lives? Or are we going to dive and go try to pick up a first down? What are we going to do?
Well, we don't have questions to do 2 of them today. So if you'd like to try that later in the week and skip a day, we can certainly discuss that at some point other than right now.
Fair enough. Okay, fair.
We'll do it on Wednesday because you don't play trivia anyway on that day.
Oh, I love Double Decker Wednesday. Yeah, baby, I love that.
I need a Coors Light.
Caller 10, 844-770-3776. We only need one contestant in case you were confused by that. Caller 10 right now, 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 10 for trivia. And I want to be clear on this. I agree with Tausch. It was really fun. I was very nervous, but
and
it was
we should change
fun.
the rules, too, for stealing points and stuff like that.
All right, well, we'll work on that while you tell us about your love of Coors Light.
The Coors Light tonight will be fun, watching the New York Jets and the Bills play, and Coors Light's always fun because it keeps you chill. Brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged because it is made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light's refreshing. It is crisp, and it's only 102 calories. That's why it's Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 7th. Position players, pitchers, and catchers can showcase their skills for over 40 college coaches scheduled to attend. Registration is open to all players in the 2024 to 27 graduating years, and spots are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Sign up today at grbacademy.com. That's grbacademy.com. Rays Baseball, raise your game.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hey Madison, it's Dan Andrews from Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. By now you know that you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. But what is a better buying experience? It's a car buying experience that is custom to what you want and need. We can be your trusted expert, or we can be hands-off until you're ready to purchase. If you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Chevy truck or SUV, make the short drive to Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb and see the difference a better buying experience can make.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
With over 25 years of experience, TLC Laser Eye Centers is a leader in LASIK. TLC has performed over 2.3 million LASIK procedures nationwide, including treatment for over 10,000 doctors and professional football player Kirk Cousins.
TLC Laser Eye Centers is a brand that's proven and can be trusted. This was not a procedure I wanted to cut corners on. I wanted to get the best quality and the best doctors and make sure that it was done to the highest level. And I felt that TLC was the brand that would do that. And so it made the decision easy for me and for my wife.
Come see why TLC is the doctor's choice for LASIK and the choice for Kirk Cousins. Right now, TLC Laser Eye Centers is offering $1,000 off LASIK when treated in September. That's $500 off per eye. Visit tlcoffer.com today to schedule your free consultation. Must mention this promotion and be treated in September of 2023 to qualify. $1,000 off for both eyes on standard wave light price. $500 off for one eye. Cannot be combined with any other offers. See details at saveontlc.com.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our team has years of experience, which has prepared us to guide you through your life transitions and help you achieve your financial goals with confidence. We're fiduciaries and will never back gimmicks or instruments that chase single-day returns or put your long-term goals at risk. At Canopy, care, confidence, clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
We're not quite sure what happened to Tausch. I don't know if he's boycotting because we're not playing double trivia. I don't know what's happening. So, let's play trivia without him.
You think he got locked out of his undisclosed location or something? He usually doesn't do anything like this to us.
Yeah, that's a nice credenza behind him, though. All right. Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Dave in Verona, home of the victorious Verona Wildcats, who downed the Middleton Cardinals on Friday night at Prep Mania. Dave,
on the
good morning.
road. Big game.
Dave, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well, guys. Thanks. Yeah, Verona pulled it out. It was nice to get a big win like that.
It was a very high-quality win for them, and we'll see where they take it, just like we'll see where the Packers take their win over a not very good Chicago Bears team. All right, question number one, Dave, is this. Wow, Chris Collinsworth just arrived. Hey, Tausch.
That was a quick commercial break, huh?
No.
All right, you just sit this one out and you play along. Now that we got your back. Question one, Dave, is this. Which college football powerhouse lost a non-conference game at home for the first time since 2007 on Saturday night? Was it
Alabama?
It was indeed. No extra entry. Alabama loses at home, and Nick Saban says afterward that they ate the rat poison and then had their heads snapped by the mousetrap. Question two. Which of these NFL teams featured a final score that was a scoregami on Sunday? I really thought we were done with those, but apparently not. Meaning it was the first time in the Super Bowl era that a game finished with this exact score. Was it Cowboys 40, Giants 0, Dolphins 36, Chargers 34, or Ravens 25, Texans 9?
It was the Cowboys 40-0 of the Giants.
Said with confidence, but incorrect.
Very, very frustrating.
Taking care of the perfect week early. I always like that. Takes the pressure off for everybody else the rest of the week. All right, Dave, let's bounce back on question 3.
It was 25-9, by the way. Ravens.
25-9.
Yeah.
Ravens
Scorigami.
over Texans. You are addicted
You know that
to
for a fact?
Stitches.
I think I need to check Jesse on that.
Whoa, Nelly! There's an entire Twitter account dedicated to it, Dave. I feel good about this one.
I don't think his distrust is misplaced, however.
That
if
is
we're being
fair. It is fair.
All right, Dave, let's bounce back on question 3. Which opponent did Novak Djokovic defeat in the men's tennis U.S. Open final to win his 24th career Grand Slam trophy? Was it Carlos Alcaraz, Daniil Medvedev, or Ben Shelton?
B, and I'm not going to try to say the name.
Medvedev. No, that's the. I didn't know you were Russian. You're better at that than I am. I'm calling him Medvedev, and you were right. Well done. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, like Meatloaf taught us. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries, Dave. You weren't as good as the Verona Wildcats were, but you were pretty good. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Did you get to see? We didn't do a tennis minute today.
Tennis is the only sport where the uniform is what you would wear under your clothes in any other sport. You're actually out there in your underwear.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Tausch Tennis Minute.
Oh, so now we're doing things just completely ad-libbed. Luckily for you, I'm ready for you. Great win by Joker. He is the GOAT. I've said it. I think everybody has to acknowledge he's the GOAT of tennis. He's passed everybody by. But Coco with a big win on Saturday night. I think that was her first Grand Slam major victory. Kudos to Coco. The U.S. Open needs to move its calendar date up a week and finish on Labor Day weekend. Friday night championship, Saturday night championship. No more of this competing with the NFL. Not interested in trying to have to keep up with Joker when the Packers are playing the Bears. Like, what are we doing here, USTA? Get it together. Close up shop before college football season starts. Let's go.
It's great advice.
That was pretty impressive for someone who had no idea we were doing the Tausch's Tennis Minute.
Yeah, I wasn't on the show sheet.
Until Jesse started playing the theme song.
You guys started trivia early. Didn't even give me time to get back down here.
Okay. We would have talked about it during the last commercial break, but you got locked out of your undisclosed location or whatever happened there.
We're glad to have you back. We enjoyed your Tennis Minute. And next we will have Whoa Nelly. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
2023 is a very special year for Goodman's Jewelers. We're celebrating 90 years of serving the greater Madison area. John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. Needless to say, that's a long time and a lot of great memories working with you, our customers. During these 9 decades, we've never deviated from our pledge to you, which is earning your trust, delivering top-notch service, and a selection that's second to none. Discover firsthand why Goodman's Jewelers is truly a destination worth reaching. 220 State Street, goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Life has its moments, times to remember and share. Make the most of those special occasions by visiting Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street. John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. We're here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. When you think of diamonds, you hear about color, cut, clarity, and carat weight. We can help you understand that, but we're equally concerned with earning your trust with the quality of our selection and our service. GoodmansJewelers.com, in the heart of downtown Madison. Truly a destination worth reaching.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Unless you have anything else that you're going to spring upon us that wasn't on the show sheet, like Tausch's Tennis Minute and other fine features, maybe a Where's Wilde, or... It's time now for Whoa Nelly.
Need it or don't need it? The topic is good. The guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
All right, couple of scores from around the NFL yesterday that I wanted to get you guys quick thoughts on since we've spent the whole show talking Packers, as we should. First of all, the Vikings lost to Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 20-17. Tausch, are the Vikings going to be bad this year?
Yeah. There's a reason that teams really don't like going into lame years with their quarterbacks. Like, well, we're going to probably move on. It sets a tone. You got rid of a lot of your defensive players that were impactful for you for years. And you got rid of your star tailback. So I think the Vikings, they played with fire last year. They found a way to win a bunch of close games, which is a talent in itself. But that stuff usually evens itself out. And yesterday was, I think, a good example of some of that and some of the hangover from the disappointment in the postseason that they had last year. Going to be tough sledding for them, I think, this year. I think they're in a rebuild as well, but they're in a rebuild without a quarterback to take them to their next, I guess, build. This is the Kirk Cousins, end of the Kirk Cousins era in Minnesota, and I think you're going to see it fizzle out.
I wonder if, because when I look at Baker Mayfield, I see a guy that did have talent to be the number 1 overall pick, but what we went back to in the conversation with Jack Rabbit Mama, I mean, he went to Cleveland, which was not a great situation, had some good moments during his time there, but maybe, after everything he's kind of gone through, maybe Tampa ends up being a place where he finds success. Maybe. And yesterday was a really good start for him. But Tausch is right. I've never seen a 13-4 team say, we need to rebuild. And that's exactly what the Vikings have. I guess I give them points for self-awareness, but that's exactly what they're doing on the fly here.
Whoa, Nelly! Sunday Night Football, snoozer. I actually didn't even end up watching. I was going to watch the second half, but Cowboys were already up 33-0. They win 40-0 over the New York Giants. Tausch, what do you make of Big Mike's big debut as the play caller for Dallas here this time around?
Yeah, that game was about how bad the Giants were and how good Dallas's defense looked. I mean, Dallas's defense dominated that game. So Cowboys are going to be a good regular season team. The question that always comes up with them is, can they win in the postseason? I think Mike is going to have his team right where it needs to be. Can they compete with Philly for that division title? If you judge it off of 1 week, which is all we can do, yeah, they are. But I still worry about Dak and the turnover quotient that he had last year. Is that going to level out? Is Mike going to do less of that? We'll find out. But Dallas will be one of the teams in the NFC that I think you could look at and say they have a chance to get out of there and win and go to contend for a Super Bowl.
I was really happy for Mike. He looked really good on the sideline. He had the tightly shorn beard. He cleaned up nicely. He had his FDNY hat on to remember 9/11. And his team kicked the crap out of Daniel Jones. And while I was enjoying that for Mike, I was also thinking there have been some moments where Giants fans have felt really good about Daniel Jones. Yesterday was not one of them. This is what happens with quarterbacks who are going through the process of developing into what you hope are great quarterbacks. Yesterday was a great moment for Jordan Love. He may have a Daniel Jones moment or two this season. I hope people are prepared for that and can get past it quickly, and he has another moment like he had yesterday. Next.
Whoa, Nelly! Last one. Two teams lost bad yesterday as favorites. The Cincinnati Bengals fell 24-3 to the Cleveland Browns. And bad news for me, in our survivor pool, the Rams went to Seattle and beat the Seahawks 30-13. Who's in more trouble this season, Tausch? The Seahawks or the Bengals?
Or Jesse in the survivor pool?
I don't think either of those two teams are going to be in trouble. I would say Cincinnati I'm more concerned about because they've been working hard to try and get that offensive line figured out. It's almost like there's a recurring theme. Good football teams are pretty good up front. Detroit, who's turned their fortunes around the last half of last season, they're pretty good up front. The Dallas Cowboys, they're pretty good up front. The Green Bay Packers, they're pretty good up front. Cincinnati, not very good up front. Haven't been. Great skill guys. I believe in Joe Burrow, and I still think they'll figure it out. But that would be the team if I had a pick between the two, because of the conference that they're in. I think Cincinnati probably be in more trouble than Seattle.
I'm not worried about either one of those. The Joe Burrow injury certainly was not great for them in terms of getting some rhythm and everything they needed during the training camp. But that's not the way you want to start your season against the division opponent. Same case with I don't know how the Rams won, because we thought that they were sort of tanking too. Right?
Cooper Kupp was on IR.
Correct.
And they
Matthew
trounced
Stafford
him.
must have connected with his teammates via their phones, some text messages and some Snapchats, so they were all on the same page. But that was a good win for them.
I wouldn't be punching their playoff ticket yet either.
No, I'm not.
If I was a Rams.
By the way, Tausch and I were teetering on the brink of elimination as well, as the Commanders were trailing the team that is clearly tanking, and they don't even know how to tank correctly. They almost won. The Arizona Cardinals almost went to Washington and won.
Or the Commanders aren't very good.
We knew that, though, didn't we? And we just figured they're bad, but the Cardinals are worse, and they're trying to be worse.
And we were correct, by the way.
And Jesse was not. That's it for Whoa Nelly. We'll wrap things up.
Oh.
Oh, God, here we go again. Where he's holding stuff.
Holding his thing up to the... Yeah.
What are you...
What are certainly you glad my Jaguars pick would have been good, but those Vikings were... If you guys noticed,
that was going to be your first pick.
We scribbled it out. Never trust the Vikings.
Hey, do me a favor, all right? I appreciate this new thing where you hold stuff up to the camera, but you have to know where the actual lens is, because I can't see what you're...
right here.
No, I've got... No,
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Better. The first two times, you got like the end of each team name.
We just saw Ings, R's, and T.
Old T. Yes,
well,
indeed.
Can you see my finger behind this paper?
No, but I can imagine which one it is.
You'd have to
You're
guess.
number one.
One pick correct, which is more than me.
Speaking of number one, Gruber Law Offices is number one when it comes to injury law, and they've been terrific for everyone for over 35 years. And you only need one call, and that's all. And that number, of course, 414-276-6666, 276-6666 is the number. The website is gruber-law.com. But again, go there not only to find out how they can help you if you're dealing with the results of an accident and you've been injured, but also to find out how much David and his family and his firm are committed to our state and all the great work they do in our communities as well. Check out gruber-law.com to find out more. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. With so many questions about some unknowns heading into the new season, it will be important for Green Bay to be able to rely on players and schemes that have been consistently dependable over the years. And speaking of consistently dependable, that's how I describe the service team over at Zimbrick Chevy. From routine maintenance to emergency issues, the service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet gets the job done right and works with you every step of the way. It's why year after year, Zimbrick Chevy is recognized as one of the best operations in the Madison area. You can take my word for it. Zimbrick Chevrolet is truly the name you can trust.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com. The Wisconsin Badgers football team now 1-1 on the season after a loss at Washington State on Saturday night. This now marks the second straight year that the Badgers have lost to the Cougars in the home-and-home series. Here's head coach Luke Fickell after his first loss at the University of Wisconsin.
I got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, that's a good football team that came to play tonight. And, I told our guys in the locker room afterwards that they outplayed us. I don't know what more you can say about it. I thought we came out the second half. We found out a little bit more about ourselves. We obviously did not play very well in the first half.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 Best history. Your kids will call it totally lit. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the Incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Feeling rough lately? Like you're barking up the wrong tree? Well, let us throw you a bone. The 2023 Putts for Pups Pre-Party is Thursday, September 21st at the Boneyard Dog Park and Beer Garden from 4 to 7 p.m. Bring your pup and enjoy your first drink for free. This event kicks off a weekend of fundraising for the Dane County Humane Society. Let's raise the woof to raise some money for DCHS. Join us on Thursday, September 21st at the Boneyard from 4 to 7 p.m.
Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. Better prices, better warranties. Legacy always makes it easy. Go to legacy-exteriors.com. Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home.
This summer, Coors Light wants you to retire, even if it's only temporary. Take a break from your 9 to 5 for 9 holes of golf. Trade those spreadsheets for a bingo card.
B7. Oh, bingo!
Or swap your office chair for a water aerobics floaty.
Cool noodles up, everyone!
This summer, welcome to temporary retirement. Coors Light, made to chill. Copyright 2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Madison Computer Works knows using computers is more dangerous than ever. Scammers try to scare you and steal your information or money. Emails try to phish your login and password. Online pop-ups and messages try to trick you, telling you there's something wrong with your computer, even when there's not. Madison Computer Works can protect you from these threats. Our computer care plans help stop the scammers and fix your computer problems. Call 608-231-8000 for the computer support you deserve. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants a breast of magic.
Monday Night Football tonight. I know there are some of you in our audience who neither know nor care about the new Jets quarterback other than him surpassing 65 snaps. You know I'm watching tonight. I know Tausch is watching tonight. I know Jesse is watching tonight. But I'm sure lots of people aren't, or so they'll say.
Big TV tonight.
I'm looking forward to
What
this.
do you think it comes down when Jesse posts this poll? Because I know you won't post Twitter polls anymore. When Jesse posts this poll, where do you think it's at? Do you think it's got to be close to 100%, right?
What?
I think people are watching.
Are
Packer
you
fans
watching?
care.
Monday Night Football tonight.
Don't even have the Spectrum excuse anymore.
Are you watching Monday Night Football tonight?
It's also just a good football game. Like, even if you don't care about it, it's a good game. It's the best game of the opening weekend.
Well, no, it is, Jason. Don't roll your eyes at
it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. There's no way in God's green earth it's 100%. There are 70. If it's 75-25. Well, you said that. You said it's got to be close to 100%, right? No, it's not a canyon. There's going to be at least 25% that say no, they're not watching. Don't you think?
I don't know, but I'd be fascinated to find out tomorrow after Jesse posts that poll.
Well, post it now as your final act of today's program. I'm gonna watch it, although I guess I'll be in the car for some of it as well, so maybe I'll only get to see the end of it.
Kugler.
Is it Kevin Kugler on the call?
I don't know if it's Kugler or Harlan on the radio call. It's one of those two.
Elizabeth Kubler-Ross on the call. All right, that's it for us today. We'll see how that poll turns out. We'll see how ex-Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers fares in his Jets debut. And we won't talk about it tomorrow because you don't want to hear about it. That's it for us. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, it's Stacy